to game time, to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is game time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Hey, Indiana. Let's clear the air about vaping. Glue, rat poison, paint. We all know these products contain poisons like formaldehyde, arsenic, and lead. And these are just a few of the chemicals you'll find in e-cigarette vapor. Let's clear the air, Indiana. Don't puff this stuff. Visit don'tpuffthisstuff.com to join the fight and spread the word.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
The high school football season is down the backstretch of this brand new year, and before you know it, we'll be thinking about the upcoming tournament in about another 4 weeks. Great to have you with us tonight here at Mount Vernon High School. It'll be the Marauders of Mount Vernon against the Arabians of Pendleton Heights. Tonight's game brought to you in part by the Morales Group, building better futures one story at a time. Aspen Creek Grill, why go anywhere else for delicious food? Burtner Electric, providing quality electrical services in central Indiana. Boilermaker 374, we're second to none in quality and performance. Clean Slate, inspired innovation that moves business forward. Piper Logistics, from warehousing to transportation and everything in between. And Drumstick Dash 2023, move your feet so others can eat. Great to have you with us on this week 6 of high school football. Troy Darengowski along with Zach Irvin. Great to have you with us. Zach, I'll tell you what, we have a good one here tonight simply for the fact that these two teams are so close together as far as a distance goes, and they're in the same conference as well. But talk a little bit about what you see in this one. One team undefeated, the other one got off to a slow start, but they're playing better.
Yeah, Troy, I'm excited to be here with you tonight. It's going to be a great game, an old classic Hoosier Heritage Conference showdown. Pendleton Heights, Mount Vernon, they've seen each other a million times over the years. I'm looking for a good game. Both teams, as you said, have had some success early. Mount Vernon a little bit more in recent weeks. Pendleton started hot and has had a couple of tough games the last 2 weeks. So both teams are looking to establish something positive tonight and get a victory, move into the second half of the season.
Pendleton is undefeated for the first time since I think back in 1972-73 in that area. So it's been a long time since they've been 5-0 at this point in the year. And that year they won a state championship. Let's talk about the Arabians. What makes them go? It looks like from a standpoint they've used 2 quarterbacks this year, but they've got some good skill people as well.
Yeah, you hit it on the head. They use 2 quarterbacks, which is a little unique. So they're going to have one quarterback and senior Isaac Wilson. He's really going to be running a little bit more than the other quarterback, who is Colton Frank. That's a junior. So they use that dual, that dynamic, to kind of run different things at their opponents, and they're going to look to use both of those quarterbacks tonight to keep Mount Vernon off balance. They have a good running back and senior Isaac Wilson. Also, they come with Keaton Jones, 2-headed monster at the running back position. They'll look to just establish the run and keep control of the clock tonight.
I'll give you an idea about Wilson himself. When you think about his dual threat, 36 of 67, 409 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, but he also has 225 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns coming to this one here tonight. You mentioned Keaton Jones, 139 yards rushing. They don't really look at it. If you look at it on paper, they beat Lebanon 15-0. They beat an Anderson team, which is really very good, 49-0. They ended up beating Newcastle 40-0, and then Greenfield and them hooked horns, and they ended up winning that game 43-38. Beat New Pal, I should say lost to New Pal by a final of 34-14. I said they were undefeated. I should have recorrected myself. But the one thing about it is their defense played so well early, but then in the last couple of games they've given up some points.
Yeah, and that's understandable. When you're going up against New Pal and Greenfield Central, that's kind of the cream of the crop of the Hoosier Heritage Conference. Obviously, like you said, an unusual start to the season where they didn't give up a point for 3 entire games. That'll build some confidence early, and you know that they'll try to ride that confidence into tonight's game. New Pal really giving up 34 points. We know that's a juggernaut offensively. They're not going to feel bad about that. I think tonight what they really want to do is establish an offensive scheme and a game plan that will find success for them, and hope that they can use that strong defense to keep Mount Vernon underneath their total.
All right, well, they're going to have to. We had Mount Vernon last week, and they played really well on both sides of the football. We'll talk about the Marauders coming up in a moment right here on IndianaSRN.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
My name is Jay Jones. I'm the commissioner of the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference, and we appreciate you tuning in to tonight's game. We hope you'll stay tuned to SRN for tomorrow's Heartland Conference Game of the Week, showcasing some of the best small college football in the Midwest. We look forward to seeing you then.
Back here at Mount Vernon, we're awaiting the Marauders to make their way. Did misspeak a little bit ago about Pendleton Heights. I was actually thinking about Greenfield Central, who was undefeated and won a championship way back in 1972, I believe. So I apologize to Greenfield Central and Pendleton Heights, but Pendleton the one loss. Mount Vernon, I tell you what, Luke Ertl is maybe as good of a quarterback throwing over the middle as you're going to see in high school football for being a sophomore. Everything really kind of revolves around him.
It really does, and last week you talked about throwing over the middle. You saw that with regularity. Delta was playing a scheme that allowed Mount Vernon to take what they had available over the middle. He didn't force anything, and he found open receivers all night long across the middle of the field. We'll see what Pendleton offers on the defensive side, but I would expect that Mount Vernon and Ertl will be ready to take care or take advantage of whatever they can see on the field.
And they can run the football, and Ertl can run a little bit. He's not going to run as much, but when you got Jaliba Brogan, the running back, averaging 113 yards per game, 7 yards per carry, and he's not a big guy at 5'9", 165, but he can really hit the holes with the best of them.
Yeah, if you look at this team on paper, it kind of feels like they pick their poison. If the opposing team is giving them a look that allows them to run the ball, they're going to run the ball. If the other team is giving them a look that allows them to hit receivers in open space, they're going to do that. But like you said, this junior, Mr. Brogan, he does a really good job for him. Small, but he packs a big punch, and he'll get some yardage tonight for the Marauders.
And the one thing, too, you'll notice the guys on the outside, when you think about Trey Jones having an excellent year, 312 yards receiving, averaging nearly 16 yards per reception. He is probably their key go-to guy. Got a lot of speed.
He's got a lot of speed, and he kind of leads this senior core of receivers. sophomore quarterback, so he's going to lean on that senior experience on the outside, and that's why he's having such a good year. A big reason why is because of that senior leadership in the receiver room.
And their defense, though, they got pummeled early, played well last week, and I was really impressed the way they kind of stepped up when you think about the amount of points and yardage they gave up in their first 4 games.
Last week was a huge game for the Mount Vernon defense because their first 4 games, if you go back, giving up 48, 38, 41, and 63 points, you would think, well, their defense just isn't that good. Well, I think when you look at the quality of their opponent, you realize they're playing the best of the best. So it was good for them, I think, confidence-wise, to prove that they could keep a team under 35 or 40. And I think they'll look to build off of that tonight.
Well, there are a lot of other big games going on around Central Indiana tonight. We'll check out a couple of those as you see the Marauders have made their way to the sidelines. And listen, let me hear what you have to say about some of these games. Ben Davis, Lawrence North, both games at 4-1. And Lawrence North was only, 11 points from being undefeated this season. Lose to Carmel by 3, but still, bottom line is good game there.
If you're 4-1 and your only loss is to Carmel by 3, you're gonna raise some eyebrows across the state, and that's exactly what Lawrence North is doing. That should be an outstanding game.
How about this one? Brownsburg and Westfield, both teams at 5-0.
Man, you're talking about a game where anything could happen. I think both teams have had outstanding seasons. We know those are programs that have been on the rise and are really strong. I would look to see, man, can the defense stop Brownsburg? Brownsburg has been pretty unstoppable thus far, so should be a good one.
Hamilton Southeastern is at Zionsville, and, of course, Hamilton Southeastern lost for the first time on the last play last week to Westfield.
Yeah, and Hamilton Southeastern has been strong in this series. They kind of owned the series, winning 17 of the last 18. It's one of those games, conference game, anything can happen. Should be another good one.
And then Heritage Christian, Covenant Christian, that is one of the games we have on IndianaSRN. And tell you what, Heritage Christian got a big win last week.
Yeah, they took down Cecina. I know Cecina, I believe, was ranked top of their class.
Yeah.
So that's a huge win for Heritage Christian. See if they can consolidate it, back it up this week with another victory.
Chittard will be at Guerin. You talk about a really big matchup here tonight. Guerin's going to have to find a way to stop that running attack for Chittard.
Yeah, and having issues stopping the run is not a good way to feel when you're going up against Chittard. And Chittard has had an outstanding start to the season as well. I know they got that win over Cathedral, had a couple other big wins, and that'll be a tough task for Guerin tonight. But again, at home, they'll probably feel good about their chances, but good luck. That'll be a great game.
And then Cecina will be at Lutheran. Lutheran just a juggernaut of a football team, but Cecina's got to find a way to get a win on the road tonight. That won't be easy.
Won't be easy. Their offense is rolling. They average about 450, 470 yards a game in that area, so they're going to need to bring the offensive firepower tonight to have a chance.
And then we just mentioned Greenfield Central taking on New Pal tonight. Greenfield, as I alluded to a little bit ago, they're 5-0 for the first time since they won that state championship in '73, but New Pal's pretty good.
New Pal is pretty good, and I'll tell you, that will be an electric atmosphere tonight. Greenfield Central, like you said, hasn't had a ton of state-level success, at least going back to the 70s is the last time they had that state title. That'll be an outstanding game tonight.
All right, you see the captains meeting at midfield, and we will certainly keep you updated on all those games as we go throughout the night. It is homecoming tonight for Mount Vernon, so halftime will be a little bit extended as these two teams will do battle here tonight. Let's get the keys to this one here this evening. Let's start with Pendleton Heights. We know that being where they're at right now at 4-1 on the year and on the road at Mount Vernon, emotionally it'll be tough because of homecoming. What do they got to do to walk out of here with a win?
Yeah, so tonight I think it all revolves around their mindset. They've had recent struggles against Mount Vernon. They've lost the last 7, I think 11 out of 12. So tonight it's all about this is game 1 of 1. Can you have a good mindset? Can you get off to a good start? I think if they do that, they'll find success. I think the other thing, too, that's key for them, you know Mount Vernon's a good football team. You know that they've played strong competition. When they deliver a punch, when they deliver a blow, are you going to be able to take it and respond? I think if they can do that and have the right mindset tonight, they'll find that they'll hang around in this game.
All right, we'll find out here as we're ready for the kickoff of this one here tonight. Mount Vernon in their home, all black uniforms, and Pendleton will be in their white tops and the green pants. And you see already it's going to be Mount Vernon getting the football first. We're going to see Luke Ertl, the quarterback, is just a sophomore. We mentioned he's a left-hander, and he throws the football extremely well. We'll give you his numbers coming up in a couple of moments, but his favorite receivers will be Jones, Simpson, Etherington, and Sluniker. The guys on the outside can provide a lot of speed, but last week it was even Chris Edmonds who had a great game, and Gavin Joy. They got about, 6 different guys they can throw to.
Yeah, they do. They're going to spread it all over the field, and like we alluded to earlier, they're just going to take what the defense gives them. So how Pendleton comes out in this game will really impact what we see from Mount Vernon.
So we're ready to get this one underway for Mount Vernon, averaging 383 yards of total offense per game. They lead the series over the last, 42 times they've met. Mount Vernon has won 25, Pendleton Heights 17, and the last time that they met, last year, Mount Vernon won that one 46-14. So we're ready to get this one underway. Another nice night for high school football. And they'll tee it up at the 40-yard line. You're looking at Dominic Appo, the senior kicker. And once they get the signal from the officials, we will be underway here at Mount Vernon. Not only do we have football going on tonight, I know Keith and the rest of the crew are over in Terre Haute doing HCAC volleyball. So that'll be there tonight and tomorrow. You can check that out on our networks as well. So here we go. Good crowd on hand here tonight. Mount Vernon, with it being homecoming, naturally will have a big crowd, but they kind of feel that they still have something special to give here this evening, as that ball will actually go into the end zone for a touchback, as it did not go out of bounds in play. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Mount Vernon. Mentioned Ertl, Brogan in the backfield. Etherington is the tight end. Jones, Simpson, Sluniker are your 3 wide receivers, but you'll see Edmonds and Joy quite a bit tonight for that Mount Vernon offense. Up front, Fox, Brewer, Tremble, Reed, and Dover. So we're ready to get this one underway. Looks like Caden Smith, number 9, will actually be inserted into the starting lineup as one of the 2 receivers now to the near side. And we are now awaiting where they're going to put the football. And generally, you think about that was an automatic right there. Put it between the hash marks first.
Hey, you don't see that too often. A little bit of confusion on where the ball goes to start the game, but they decided on the middle, and here we go.
5 receivers. Man in motion is Jones. Jones on the sweep around the right side will get about 5 to 6 yards on the first play.
They found some success with that sweep last week. Right there, a really good start to the game. Easy play, you get 5 yards. I like how you're looking at 2nd and 5, but I would look to see them kind of use that play to get things going early in drives tonight.
3-man front there for Pendleton. Empty backfield once again, so a little bit of a different look than what we saw at the beginning of the game last week. And Earl set to throw again. This time down the middle and hit simultaneously across the 45 near the 46-yard line. Big hit there by Clint Miller. It'll be incomplete, but a great play by the defense.
Yeah, Clint Miller did a good job there just playing the ball. Happened to be a collision right when the ball arrived to the receiver. The reason he doesn't get a flag there is, again, because he's making a good play on the ball. Good stop here, brings up 3rd and 5.
So Brogan steps back into the lineup, or actually is in the lineup for the first time after a sweep play and the pass. So now Ertl will throw once again. Down the middle, has a man ball caught at the 45 into Pendleton Heights territory. And there's your tight end, Tyler Etherington.
Tyler Etherington finding a little gap down the middle. That seam there, and we said it earlier, they're going to look to find the middle if you're going to give it to them. Right out of the gate, Ertl not afraid to throw it down the middle 3 times in a row.
That'll be Brogan to about the 40. So Brogan gets his first carry. Etherington at 6'3", 215. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the tight end they had in the last couple of years, now at Purdue, who, by the way, is playing Wisconsin right now. So
yes, at Purdue and doing well.
That is Brogan again.
That'll be a fun game tonight as well.
Yeah.
Purdue playing under the lights on a Friday night.
So they'll move the chains. It'll be a first down. We'll have to spot the football at the 36-yard line. Hurry-up offense now for Luke Ertl and Mount Vernon. And we've got some movement up front. The flags will come down for the first time, and the penalty will be against the Marauders. Sometimes that happens when you get into a little higher pace. Now, they didn't really run this fast of a pace last week, so they must have seen something in that Pendleton defense they want to try to exploit.
Yeah, last week they were content, take their time, be a little more methodical. Tonight out of the gate, they're moving quick, getting up to the line fast.
Jones might get a yard out of that sweep. That's the second time they've given Trey Jones the opportunity to carry the football here in the opening quarter.
Same exact play we saw on the opening snap. This time went for a couple yards.
So it'll be second down and long. They have to get to almost the 25-yard line for a first down. Brogan in the lineup as the lone setback. They'll work off the hash mark on the right side. That is Jones at the bottom of the screen and a man in motion. That'll be Caden Smith. Ertl again. Steps up. Takes off himself. Gets hit hard at the 35. Gets an extra yard out of it. Dresden Roberts, inside linebacker, to make the stop.
Good read there from Ertl. He had good protection, but realized quickly he didn't have any receivers open, so he tucked it and ran.
Good coverage downfield. Ertl again does this a lot where he'll check, see what that defense is showing, and then check at the sidelines and either call a different play or stay with what they had, but he'll stay out of the shotgun. RPO, he'll keep it himself. Ran into his own man. He ran into Caden Smith, his receiver, and went down at about the 31.
I think we need to get a tackle stat there for the receiver. He got the takedown.
Yeah, Smith was like, wait a minute. You cut to the outside. I see another flag down. And this is going to go against Mount Vernon. A holding penalty. So 2 penalties now in this series. We always talk about drive killers. And if you want to kill your drive, this will do it.
Yeah, and they had this issue last week for a little bit. They'd get the ball moving, move down the field with ease, and then all of a sudden come to a stop with the penalties. Here, 2 penalties and 1 set of downs. That's going to be tough to overcome.
So the football marked back to the 43-yard line. Libler is out for Pendleton. McKinley comes in that defensive line spot. Ertl to throw. Sideline, and that is going to be a penalty the other way. Pass intended for Brogan, but he got leveled by Eli Arthur, the outside linebacker. Got there a little bit early. Take another look at it.
The exact reason the coverage was good a few passes ago is why this one led to a penalty. He didn't play the ball. He played the receiver. He sees the receiver, put his arms up, goes ahead with the tackle, realizes the ball's not there yet, and that's going to cost him 15 yards.
I think you and I could have called that, huh?
Yes, that one was pretty blatant.
So that's going to be third down and short. Hand off, and it'll be Brogan up the middle, and I believe he got enough right at the 25-yard line.
So Mount Vernon bailed out there on the drive-killing penalties with a penalty from Pendleton Heights. Offset a little bit, kind of evens out. Mount Vernon ends up about where they would have been without the penalties.
We mentioned Brogan only at 165. He looks a lot bigger than that. They'll pitch to Brogan over the left side. Try to cut back. We'll get to about the 20. We mentioned Libler, Peterson, and Davis up front there for Pendleton. Kiesling, Trout, Roberts, and Arthur are the linebackers, with Souders, Rowley, Miller, and Braxton the defensive backs.
You saw it there. We'll see it some tonight, but Brogan, he really likes to get in the mud. Likes to find those little creases in the line. Right there, he turned what could have been just 2 or 3 yards into 5 or 6. It's a nice run.
And off to Brogan, got hit hard and may get a yard out of it. By the way, Dominic Barnett in the lineup now for Mount Vernon. 14 catches this year, 138 yards and a couple of touchdowns. They have, besides the tight end, we think about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different receivers they've used this year.
Kind of amazing, really. You don't see that a whole lot in high school where you spread it around to that many receivers. But when you have this many playmakers and this many options, it's good to spread the wealth, and that's what Mount Vernon does do, and they'll probably do tonight.
Out of the shotgun, Ertl fires toward the end zone. This one up for grabs, and it's incomplete. Intended, I believe, for Trey Jones. Looked like he had a step on the defensive back, but couldn't make the play.
He got that step, and he got one hand on the ball. He just couldn't quite go up and spear it. Kind of juggles the ball there, and it falls to the ground incomplete. Good coverage again. Wasn't going to be an easy catch.
Rylan Vennard will come in to attempt a 36-yard field goal. And the kick is on the way, and it is good. So Mount Vernon, 2 penalties, stalled their drive a little bit, but they're able to get 3 out of it. 7:35 to go, period 1. Mount Vernon 3, Pendleton nothing.
We never really realize how much we depend on electricity until the power goes out. Get those lights back on when you choose the certified electricians at Bertner Electric Incorporated. Locally owned and operated, we are a member of the Better Business Bureau and provide only the highest quality of customer service. For more information, give us a call today.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Today's game brought to you in part by Officially Human. Thanks to our officials for today's game and their hard work and dedication. Without them, we don't play. If you have nothing good to say nothing at all. Sportsmanship is everyone's job. All right, you had the 2 penalties. Again, it stalled the drive, but you got 3 out of it. Good start, but now Pendleton coming back. We'll get a look at their offense a little bit here in a moment. Your thoughts on what you saw on both sides of the football in that first drive?
I think both sides of the football are going to feel okay about that opening drive. I think 3 points, it's good to get a score on the board. Drive could have been better. They kind of shot themselves in the foot with a couple penalties and then stalled there at the end. And then Pendleton, same thing. They were about to get off the field, but then had that big pass interference penalty. They'll be okay giving up only 3. They would like to rebound here with a good drive.
That kick will take the receiving team into the end zone. That was Keaton Jones. And so they'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. We mentioned Isaac Wilson. You might even see him out at receiver sometimes, but Wilson coming into this one responsible for 10 total touchdowns. And you see he is the starting quarterback here tonight. Not a big kid, 5'9", 155, and I just think we're going to see something special out of him tonight.
I think you're right. When I see 5'9", 155, but with the stats he's put up this year, that tells me he's got a big heart. We'll see him starting tonight, and I can't wait to see this 2-headed monster from Pendleton.
That's Keaton Jones. He'll get about 4 out of that carry. Up front, you have Graham, Schnepp, Pollock, Walls, and McKinley. The receivers are DeRolf, along with Reddington and Caden Sims. So it'll be 2nd down and about 6. First possession here for Pendleton, and they're going to run it again. It'll be Jones, and Jones will get to about the 26, maybe 27-yard line.
Not a surprising start, but these 3rd down and shorts all night will be critical for Pendleton. I think they're going to be able to get some small runs, these 3-4 yard chunks when they run the ball on 1st and 2nd down. It's what are they going to do on 3rd down? That's going to be the key.
Their biggest night was against Anderson. They had 330 yards. Out of the shotgun, left-handed quarterback throws, and it'll be incomplete. Looked like it was intended for Reese Reddington. And so a 3-and-out now for Pendleton. This is now the 2nd straight week we've had left-handed quarterbacks on both sides of the football. That's also very rare.
Yeah, something you don't see very often. Got to see our first pass from Isaac Wilson there. It looked like the receiver and the quarterback were just crossed wires some way on that throw, weren't able to connect. That play from the start never really looked like it was going to work.
Well, now Pendleton will have to punt it away. Looks like Mount Vernon could have pretty good field position on this punt. Left-footed kicker and a nice kick. How about that?
Beautiful roll.
Wow. All the way down to the 9-yard line.
That's an awesome way to flip the field. We didn't really talk about special teams a lot to open, but, I mean, that's going to be a key tonight as well. Both teams have good kickers. Punting game will be key. That punt right there, when you have a punter who can flip the field and make the other team start inside their own 10, you can't overstate how important that is and how much that helps the defense.
Now, you might be looking at about a 30-yard difference here if he doesn't get off a decent punt right there.
Exactly. And it just makes it that much more daunting for the Mount Vernon offense to have to go all the way down the field.
So we saw Mount Vernon open up with 5 receivers in their opening possession. This time, Brogan will get the start on this second possession, and a flag comes out immediately, and that's going to go against Mount Vernon. I'll tell you what, it might be. Maybe it's just because it's homecoming. Maybe they're just not quite tuned in yet.
Yeah, I don't know. This middle of the season, you would kind of expect a lot of the kinks to be worked out as far as the false starts and the up-tempo. If you're going to run that, you wouldn't expect to see a lot of penalties like this out of the gate. I'm going to guess they're a little juiced up. I'm going to guess that their coaches have something to say about it when they all have a chance to sit down, probably at halftime. That'll be something they analyze pretty closely.
They'll have moved him back to about the 4-yard line. Brogan on the carry. He might get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard, just not much there. And this is really tough on an offense, too. When you put your back against the wall, get a penalty, and then it's even a little bit further back, they need a big play just to give them a little breathing room here.
Oh, yeah. You come in with a game plan. You probably want to establish the run early on some of these drives, and then when you have to establish the run on 1st and 15 instead of 1st and 10, it's a little bit of a downer. Makes the second down play that much harder.
So let's call it 2nd down and 13. Ertl from the end zone. Fires out in the flat and a little bit behind Trey Jones. He can't make the catch. And now you're talking about 3rd and long.
Yeah, and just throwing it a little bit behind was everything on that play. If he gets that ball just a yard out in front, a couple feet, hits his receiver in stride, you're talking about an 8-9 yard gain at least. A little bit of a miss, but it'll cost him a few yards.
By the way, Caden Smith is back in the lineup now for Mount Vernon. 3rd down and 13. Trips to the near side. That's going to be the short side. Brogan, you see Ertl now switching Brogan to his right. And we have another whistle. And this time I believe that Pendleton's going to call a timeout. They will. 5:37 opening period. 3-0 Mount Vernon.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
Hey, tonight's game brought to you in part by Tam's Sweet and Savory Cafe. They're good for breakfast and lunch. They have delicious baked goods. Make sure you check out their daily specials, and they're open Tuesday through Sunday, 8 until 2, located at 6427 Oaklandon Road. Now, the mindset right there to call that timeout if you're Pendleton, what do you think might be going through their mind?
I think they saw something they didn't like. I think they felt a little bit uncomfortable, probably realized that Mount Vernon was sizing up some kind of advantage that they had. Either way, out of sorts. It's good to call a timeout there, even though you're in advantage position, 3rd and 13, and just make sure you're ready to go for this stop.
Ertl, screen pass. It'll be Brogan over the middle. Brogan trying to get to the outside, gets hit maybe to the 15-yard line, and that is it. And it's going to be 4th down. They had to get to the 19. And here comes your punting unit.
And here they come. And I think calling that timeout, too, is about situation. I think 3rd and 13, you don't like to use a timeout, obviously, if you can avoid it. But first half, you're early in the game, and you're down 3-0. I mean, this is a big spot in the game. Let's make sure we've got our defense where we want it to be and feel good about the play. And then, obviously, you get the stop, so you feel like you got full use out of that timeout.
Oh, that one nearly blocked. A short punt will be a return, 35-30, 25-20. Blockers ahead to the end zone, touchdown for Pendleton. How about that? That'll be Clint Miller on the return.
That is how you get things going if you're Pendleton. Short kick, like you said, he was able to catch it in stride. Takes it to the house. Pressure on the punter, I think, affected that as well. So he gets to catch this in stride, gets by that first Mount Vernon defender, and there's nobody home on the rest of the way. He takes it in for 6.
You know, I was watching number 81 there for Mount Vernon, and it was almost like once the receiver caught it, he just kept running upfield instead of going toward him.
Yeah, the angle was off, and he totally missed it, and that's what can happen on those plays.
So that quiets the crowd. The extra point is up. It is good. 4:50 remaining opening period. Pendleton now leads at 7-3.
Yeah, I'd like to order a hamburger, fries, salt, maybe a large vanilla shake.
This is a trophy shop, can't you tell?
You got carry out?
Everything that you need, we have here at the shop. Very unique. You order today, carry out tonight. That's our version of carry out.
All right, I'll take one of everything.
Oh, that may take a little longer. We'll have it for you tomorrow night.
I'll be back tomorrow to pick it up.
We'll be waiting for you.
Well, if you want to quiet the home crowd down a little bit, you did it right there with that nice return. And that kind of gives you an idea of, just you mentioned a little bit ago, what special teams can do for you when you can flip the field.
Oh, yeah, special teams already a huge factor in this game. You get pressure on the punter. He ends up getting a short kick, a kick that doesn't get a lot of hang time. The returner is able to catch it in stride and takes it to the house. All of a sudden, you've got all the momentum on your side. If you're Pendleton, great way to come in here and start when you're at Mount Vernon's homecoming, no doubt.
So Mount Vernon will get the football for the 3rd time tonight. Teeing the football up at the 40-yard line will be Dominic Apple. Apple, the last time he had the kickoff, was able to get it into the end zone. Good strong kick from inside the 10. Out to cross the 20 to about the 23-yard line. And that's where Mount Vernon will take over 1st and 10. 3rd series of the ball game now for Mount Vernon.
So Mount Vernon, I think, you've had a couple drives now. You've had a lot of mistakes. You've had some penalties. I think this drive, it's less about putting points on the board and more about getting some rhythm, having consecutive plays without error, and seeing if they can just get some of that momentum back. Obviously, you'd like to put some points on the board, but I think they're just looking for a clean possession at this point.
Hash mark on the left side this time, the work on the short side. Ball caught out at the 30. The hit is Smith able to break tackles and gets close to the 1st down. That is Caden Smith.
And I like that play a lot to open the drive. Let's just get the ball out, nice, easy pass, get it to my receiver in space where he can do some damage. Worst case, he gets tackled at the catch. Best case, he gets a few extra yards like he did there, and now you're looking at another moving the chains 1st down.
Yeah, got enough for 10 on that one. Handoff Brogan. Brogan to get about 2, maybe 3 yards on this carry. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Mentioned Brogan coming in with actually 669 yards rushing and 8 touchdowns. Averages about 7 yards per carry. Quickly to the line of scrimmage. Brogan stays in. That'll be Smith in motion left to right. Ertl keeps it himself, has a lot of running room, diving ahead into Pendleton territory. Get about to the 47, maybe 26-yard line. They'll spot at the 47.
Read by Ertl. May have been designed, but also we've been talking a lot about Brogan and his running ability. He picked up a nice block there, freed up some space for Ertl to make his move up the middle.
So once again, quick offense. He'll give it to Brogan. Breaks it. And he's going to head to the end zone for the easy score. How about that run?
There he goes. He makes a nice block on the play before. Let's reward him, give him a carry, and he takes it to the house.
And the celebration begins. Take another look at it. This will be from 47 yards.
Nice block up front. Once he gets through that first line, it's all green space. He's got speed. No contact required. He's going to go untouched to the end zone. Gives us a little shimmy there at the end. Nice play.
I got to tell you, though, it looked like on that left side he made a little cut back to the inside, didn't he?
He did make a little cut. Read that nicely, and yeah, he was able to take it to the house. I think that's how you want to respond if you're Mount Vernon.
I agree.
Nice drive.
3:18 remaining opening period. Marauders lead it by 3.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience on a great budget. We've got incredible specials, great service. Today's dish that we're going to highlight is going to be our Aspen Blue Sirloin. It is, again, our premium Black Angus certified beef, and we top that with a blue cheese crust. Again, everything that we do here is made from scratch, and it's no different from our steaks. We hand cut all our steaks in-house. So our team back there, it's just an incredible team. Everything that they do, they take so much pride in. They put a little bit of themselves into everything that they do over here, especially since it is a made from scratch concept. We want everybody to come, visit us, enjoy some great food with some great service. Bring your friends, bring your family, come have some great food, have a great time with us with some of the best comfort scratch food.
Well, back here at Mount Vernon is the Marauders. The nice run by Brogan makes it 10-7, so Pendleton will get the football back. This time there will be a return from about the 5-yard line. All the way up to around the 22, and that's where the Pendleton Heights will take over 1st and 10. So, boy, I tell you what, like you said, nice way to respond, though.
Yeah, so the way that if you were Mount Vernon, your goal on that drive was to have a clean drive, see if it produced any points. Obviously, you run a few plays, you bust a big one, and you get a good result. I'm excited to see Pendleton on the flip side of that. They've now officially been hit in the mouth. They are facing a little bit of adversity. Can they themselves have a good drive here? They didn't have a great offensive series the last time out, so let's see if they can get some momentum back and get some positive yardage.
Isaac Wilson will fake the handoff, keep it himself across the 30. Nice run. He's going to get about 10 out of that one.
We're going to see a lot of that from Isaac Wilson tonight. You see a nice move around the outside of the line, takes some contact, falls forward. Nice gain on 1st down.
If you were Mount Vernon, would you play him more to run than to pass and just kind of dare him to throw the football?
I would dare him to throw the football, yeah, especially obviously small sample size, but we saw how the one pass play they had work on the first drive went. After I see that misconnection there with the receiver, I'm going to be like, yes, let's make him throw it all night long.
Put more guys in the box.
Absolutely.
Perhaps, yeah. That was Keaton Jones. Get about 3 on that carry. Yeah, because you look at his numbers, passing-wise, there's nothing that makes you go, uh-oh, we got to watch the pass. It's just there's nothing spectacular there.
Well, yeah, and if Pendleton's playing the game they want to play, I think it's with Isaac Wilson in there, controlling the clock, controlling the ground game. They don't have to yes, they can go to the throwing quarterback, but they can also just kind of ride the running game. If I'm Mount Vernon, I just say no. Take that away if I can. Easier said than done. But if I'm Mount Vernon, that's what I'm trying to take away here early.
By the way, Keaton Jones, no yards on that play. Sims, Tremble, and Kendricks got the start up front for Mount Vernon. Tremble at 295 in the middle can be an awful tough one to move. So now Bo Surface in the lineup, trips left. Here comes the pressure, gets rid of it, and it'll be caught at the 40. And that was Surface coming out of the backfield, but he's going to be brought down about 4 yards shy of the first down.
Heck of a pass back by Isaac Wilson. I wasn't sure about that one either, but he was able to drop it in the breadbasket of the receiver. Pressure there from Mount Vernon was key. Kind of made him look frazzled. He forced an errant throw. They did catch it, but again, forcing a punt. Another good defensive series from Mount Vernon.
So if, and of course that's a big if, we see the same thing we saw the last time, the punt went down to the 9-yard line and they flipped the field, got the return on the punt for a touchdown. Those are the only points for Pendleton. A little European-style kick on this one will go out of bounds on the far sideline, but it got another nice roll. Let's see where they'll eventually put the football down. And it's going to be what? He just keeps walking.
He keeps going. Okay, 25. So this one not as good, but still a fairly good punt. It's going to flip the field a little bit and make Mount Vernon have to work.
Well, Brogan got that big touchdown run moments ago to give Mount Vernon the 3-point lead. So now let's see what Luke Ertl and this Marauders offense can do. By the way, if you're keeping up to date and you're a Purdue fan, Wisconsin leading Purdue 14-0 in the opening quarter. That game taking place up at West Lafayette. We were talking off the air. I just don't think college football should be on a Friday night.
It just feels weird. It doesn't feel right. And you got a big game. I mean, Purdue, Wisconsin, but playing at the same time as all the high school games just doesn't feel right.
Ertl to Jones. Jones will get out to around the 37-yard line. I mentioned Trey Jones leading the team in receptions with 20 coming in. Averages nearly 16, or take that back, nearly 16 yards per catch, and they'll put him at the 36. As we told you before, it's homecoming. We'll certainly try to keep you updated on some of the other games going on, or especially around central Indiana. Brogan trying to bounce to the outside. There's a flag down, 2 flags down, and generally, when you see the flag, there's a holding.
It's probably going to be holding. Those flags came from opposite directions, but probably seeing the same thing. Let's see what we got here. He's pointing the other direction.
Well, this is another big penalty against Mount Vernon. If I'm not mistaken, that's the second holding penalty they've had.
Second holding penalty, along with 2 or 3 false starts. Again, you had a great play to open the drive, get it out to a receiver who's able to get first down yardage, and now you're moving backwards.
Football at the 26-yard line now. So it'll be 1st and 20. And there's movement all over the place. All right, so I'm not going to make an excuse. But if it's homecoming week, you've had stuff going on all week long. Your focus hasn't probably been there as much as it should be. Do you think that is a factor? Not an excuse, but a factor.
I definitely think it's a factor, and I don't think you can deny it when you come out in the first few drives and have this many penalties. Even for a team that has struggled with this a bit in the past, this is a bit excessive. Yeah. Definitely it's a focus thing. I think you could tie that to homecoming.
I agree. 1st and 25 now for the Marauders. RPO, and it'll be Ertl on the run, across the 25 to the 27-yard line, brought down there by Dresden Roberts.
And the penalties are drive killers anyway, but when you have a player of the caliber of Brogan, you really kind of take him out of the equation as well. When you're starting 1st and 25, 1st and 20, it takes that element of just getting a good chunk play on a run out of the equation. So that's another reason, as if there weren't enough, to avoid the penalties. You kind of eliminate Brogan as a factor when you do that too.
And those penalties will drive coaches absolutely nuts. Trips to the right. Delayed handoff to Brogan across the 30. Hit from behind and driven ahead 34, maybe 35-yard line. And probably the final play of this opening quarter. They'll put the nose of the football at the 35. And that will do it. Period number 1 in the books. Mount Vernon leads it by 3.
Bertner Electric Incorporated is fully licensed and bonded electrical contractor for your protection. Our electricians are available 24/7 for service calls and specialize in electrical service and storm damage repair. For more information, give us a call today.
My name is Jay Jones. I'm the commissioner of the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference, and we appreciate you tuning in to tonight's game. We hope you'll stay tuned to SRN for tomorrow's Heartland Conference Game of the Week, showcasing some of the best small college football in the Midwest. We look forward to seeing you then.
Well, back here at Mount Vernon, want to remind you tonight's game brought to you in part by Boilermaker Local 374. Learn how we can hire you by contacting them at 219-845-1065. They're part of the International Brotherhood of Boilermakers, Iron Shipbuilders, Blacksmiths, and Helpers. All right, I think that right now, Pendleton's offense is lacking the firepower they're going to need tonight. On the other side, Mount Vernon lacking the focus that they need. So there's really, you're thinking about what, the 6th game of the year, some of those things really should be kind of fine-tuned right now.
They should be fine-tuned, and for whatever reason they're not, and that's probably why, along with the big play on the punt return, you have a closer game than maybe it should be. So there's a fumbled snap.
Ertl picks it up and fires and intercepted. Back the other way, that'll be Braxton on the interception and the return, finally brought down at the 47-yard line. Now, that probably happened because you had the drop football there in the snap.
Yeah, again, another miscue. Quarterback picks up the ball, tries to make something happen, so you'll see it here, just loses focus. I think the snap's a little low, but not something a quarterback can't handle. Picks it up. I'm not sure quite what he saw there on the throw, but obviously throws it, gets intercepted, and now all of a sudden Pendleton's got good field position, and they're right there.
Well, now the Arabians back on offense. Wilson remains in as the quarterback. You see Jones as the lone setback. They'll fake the handoff, and on the run, and then he tries to throw it at the last second. It looks like they'll get it back, but a dangerous play right there as Peyton Pollock will jump on the loose football.
And a big ruling here. It looks like they're ruling that a fumble as opposed to a pass. To me, in real time, it looked more like a pass, although I see they did get the ball there knocked out before the arm went forward. So good call. Big play for Mount Vernon. Wow.
Boy, no kidding. Now, that was hard for left-hander Wilson to turn his back and then try to make the adjustment. It'd be easier if he was basically just going to his left instead of turning to his right.
Yeah, he gets turned around there. He's got too much pressure in the face, and all of a sudden he loses the ball. So not a good start to the drive.
Boy, nothing there. Might have gone back to the line of scrimmage. Good defense, as that looked like Christian Kiptu, the linebacker. He's about 215, 6'4", so big kid. 3rd down and 25.
So 3rd and long here. You know Isaac Wilson is going to be in a throwing situation. One of the keys tonight is how well will Pendleton be able to throw. So Mount Vernon's done the job. They've stopped the run here on the first 2 plays, backed them up. Okay, Pendleton's going to play it safe.
Looked like Jones again on the carry, so here comes the punting unit on. That's got to give, though, Mount Vernon a lot of, how should we put this, confidence, knowing that even though you gave up the football, you made another stop, and Pendleton so far offensively just hasn't been able to do anything.
Yeah, huge confidence boost, and I mean we've been hitting on it over and over again about how Mount Vernon has not looked sharp tonight. They haven't looked that focused, but they're getting out of it. They're getting out of trouble by playing good defense, and if you're Mount Vernon, of course you'd like to be more focused, but if you came in here and said the defense was going to show up and get some 3 and outs early, you'd be super happy about that as we get another awesome punt inside the 10.
Wow. That is 2 punts we have seen go inside the 10-yard line for the Arabians. And so now the Mount Vernon offense back out on the field. It's not the Mount Vernon defense that hasn't been focused, just really the Mount Vernon offense, as we've alluded to.
And Mount Vernon offense, and I think you're seeing why Pendleton went on 3rd and 25 with a run up the middle as opposed to going for something down the field, because they know, okay, we don't get this, not a big deal. We're going to punt it, pin them deep, and make Mount Vernon put together a solid drive all the way down the field and hope to get the ball back in good field position. I think that's a good play there, and I think it's good to make this Mount Vernon squad that hasn't been so focused go the whole length of the field.
By the way, Chris Edmonds in the lineup now for the Marauders. Ertl, quick hitter here out in the flat. That's going to be Edmonds. Edmonds across the 20 to about the 21.
And Mount Vernon's been keyed in on those quick hitters to start drives, to start series. That's another quick hitter there. When he gets it out to the speedy receivers and they've got room to run, those are going to be positive plays most of the night. So I think he's, again, doing what we thought Mount Vernon would do, kind of taking what the defense is giving him and distributing the ball.
Edmonds now split wide to the left. That'll be Jones in motion right to left. Handoff Brogan. Brogan across the 30 and brought down near the 32-yard line. Another good run by Brogan.
Brogan really runs with that powerful style. He likes to take contact, gets through that first level, but then he's always going to get 5 or 6 extra yards. I don't know that we keep the yards after contact stat in high school football. We might, but he's got to be up there. Really likes to take that contact and gets the extra yard.
Good enough for the first down. Football at the 32-yard line. Brogan setting up way deep in the backfield behind Ertl. Here's Brogan again. Got hit immediately, maybe to the line of scrimmage. Now, we had seen Brogan earlier. In fact, he had some good runs last week. Nothing like what we saw earlier in this one. He scampered for that touchdown. There you see Edmonds coming out of the lineup. Looks like Dominic Barnett will now be the receiver split wide to the left. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Ertl will work with 3 receivers to the near side. Man in motion will be Smith. Ertl rolling. Now will tuck it under himself. He took a hard hit, and guess what? There's another flag in that same area.
Another flag, and I'm not quite sure what Ertl saw there because I didn't see a lot of room to run. Maybe he just realized it wasn't going to play out downfield.
Well, if that is another hold, that is number 3 now on that Mount Vernon offensive line. Okay, if you're the offensive coordinator, you're not real happy. If you're the head coach, you're really, really not very happy.
I think it would be fun to be a fly on the wall in the locker room because I think a lot of the focus is going to be on penalties.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be, I think the coaches will explain it very well.
Yeah.
in a colorful way, if I had to guess.
Yeah, they're going to use some colorful language.
I think if you're a player on Mount Vernon, you're going to understand how they feel in that halftime locker.
Ertl to throw. This is incomplete, intended for Etherington, the tight end, and that ball wasn't even close.
Not even close. Looked a little out of sync. Looks like the tight end might have got caught up there, too. Not quite to a holding or pass interference level. Just solid defense and overshoots the tight end.
I think it would be safe to say, and we still have a lot of football to be played, but it's probably safe to say, Zach, we saw Mount Vernon last week. They played a little bit better than they have so far tonight.
They did, yeah. They played a little bit better, more focused. Tonight, for whatever reason, they are just not clicking yet. Their best play has been Brogan, but they keep getting penalties to take Brogan out of the equation. So
Ertl near side, ball caught. That'll be Barnett about the 33-yard line.
Okay.
And they'll have to get rid of the football. It's going to be 4th down and long. Punting unit back on. We haven't seen what they did last week yet, where they tried that field goal, which we didn't care for.
I was hoping we might see it right here, but yeah. So every once in a while they'll run out the field goal unit, and maybe we understand why.
Yeah, look, he's going to get a pretty decent kick out of this too. That's always the way it is. You just for whatever reason, you muff it. Next thing you know, you get a good punt.
It's like they're playing on the field turf, but it's almost like the old AstroTurf. Every ball is taking a bounce and bouncing about 10 to 15 yards further down the field. Another good punt.
If you're golfing, you could do that little, chip shot, keep it rolling down the.
Yeah, it's funny. When I play golf, I don't usually get those rollouts.
No, you
so
don't, yeah.
I think I must be doing something wrong. But, yeah, if I could take a cue out of the punter's game, it would help my golf game quite a bit.
Well,
I think a part of that is I have to hit the grass, though, the fairway, I think.
It does help, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Football at the 24-yard line. Trips right. They'll play at the short side. Quick throw. Ball caught across the 40. How about that? The spin got him to about the 47-yard line. Nice catch and more yardage.
Okay, so I said, Isaac Wilson, beat me with the arm. He says, okay, we will. Nice throw. Hits his receiver in stride. Receiver's able to drag a defender for about 5 yards. Beautiful play to start the drive from Pendleton.
Kiesling on the reception out to the 47-yard line. Wilson perhaps his best throw of the day right there. And now they're going to run the football over the left side. Big hole. And inside the 45 down to about the 42-yard line. That's Dresden Roberts.
Yeah, and I like that. I like the opening play, obviously because it worked well, but then also because what Pendleton wants to do is run the ball. So when you get that nice pass play to open the drive, it can open up some running lanes inside. That's what you saw right there. And then looks like we might have had some movement again up front on Mount Vernon.
So it will be again on the Marauders, as you saw right there. Pendleton giving Mount Vernon some of their own medicine by going quickly and not allowing Mount Vernon to make any changes on their defense. So the penalty will make it now 1st down and 5. So you've had 3 holdings. You're probably looking at 5 or 6 penalties already here in the first half.
We're up to 6, maybe 7 even. But, yeah, it's one thing after the other. They're determined to make this game a close game, if not for Pendleton already making it close on their own accord.
Wilson, ball caught. Nice stiff arm, 30, 25, and finally driven out of bounds near the 23-yard line. That's going to be Drake Stevens making his 9th reception of the year.
Man, like you said, beautiful stiff arm, big, strong receiver. Get the ball out to him in space. Watch him work here. Just boom, get off me. Yep, gets himself an extra 6-7 yards, drags a defender with him. Beautiful play from number 12.
That was Corbin May who took that stiff arm. And do we have another penalty? I believe we do. I did not see the flag, but that's going to negate that pass play, and there you see him marking it off. Wow. Well, that's another hold, wasn't it?
It must have been an odd. So it'll be 10 yards from the spot of the foul, which he was about 9 yards beyond the first down. Do we have the rare 1st and 1? You don't see that too often either. Seen all kinds of crazy things this evening.
All right, Wilson going sideline and almost caught. One-on-one coverage, unable to hold it, as that is an incomplete pass, but why not? 1st and 1.
100% the right play call. You've got 1st and 1, so you've got 3 chances to get 1 yard. One-on-one coverage on the outside. That is definitely the time to take a shot. Almost paid off, just couldn't quite reel it in.
Looked like Caden Sims, number 86, was the intended receiver, and it was. Sims, 17 receptions coming into this football game with 4 touchdowns. So that'll be 2nd down and 1. Boy, high snap, and that one blew up quickly.
And again, just a routine play, another little slight error. Now all of a sudden you start sweating a little bit. You had 2nd and 1, you go to 3rd and 3 or 4. Changes the dynamic of everything on this drive.
Well, and by the time that Wilson got it, he was going to try to hand it off to Roberts, but it was too late. So now it's at the 34-yard line. Boy, how things can change quickly. Big play right here for Pendleton Heights. Trips left. They'll check at the line of scrimmage.
He's got that one-on-one matchup up top again, but He's going to keep it.
I'm telling you, that official on the other side says he didn't get that one.
He's just short. Oh, man. What's the data? What's the statistics on a team stopping a team on 1st and 1? There can't be a lot of data on that.
Might be the first one we've seen.
Yeah. It'll be the first one I've ever seen if I see it right here.
They're going to give it to the big fullback. First down there for Roberts.
Okay, drama handled well by Pendleton there. They were able to squeak it by.
Well, I tell you what, they're earning this drive, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And I think, 4th and 1, it's a little bit white knuckle, but you get the first down, and all of a sudden you're feeling pretty good about things. You're able to control the clock. You're running the ball. Mount Vernon's offense is pretty potent. Keep them off the field. See how low you can take this clock going towards halftime.
Well, the Arabians want to talk about it using their second timeout. 4:56 to go. Period 2, 10-7. Mount Vernon.
To you. Standing with us. You are truly making a difference in the lives of our neighbors in need.
Back here at Mount Vernon, you missed that short carry right there. It'll be second down, football at the 23-yard line. Keaton Jones on the last carry. As Wilson now with 2 in the backfield. A little extra protection right here. They're going to run it. They will run it around the left side, but nothing doing. Coming up to make the stop, DJ Johnson.
Beautiful play by Johnson. Able to prevent the back from getting around the corner.
Do you think that right now Pendleton kind of knows that this really isn't it? I mean, it's important, to, like you said before we took that break, get something before halftime.
Yeah, they have to get something before halftime. I think just more for their psyche more than anything. They're going to be in this game regardless of what happens at the end of this half. I believe they get the ball first to open the second half, but going in tied, possibly with a lead, would be huge.
The throw is low. Is it caught? No, they'll say did not hold on to it. That's Stevens, but go back again to Wilson, kind of bobbling the snap, and it threw him off a little bit.
Yeah, just threw him off a little bit. He had a receiver open, although I think the receiver was probably a yard or two short. It was gonna be close, but just wasn't able to reel it in. And again, they'll settle for 3 if they can make this lengthy field goal.
Well, you're talking about from 42 yards.
It's a lot of confidence in your kicker.
It is. So Dominic Appo is in from the hash mark on the left. Good snap. The kick is on the way, but it is way short. And so that drive started promising. Had some good things to it, but again, you've got to think about a penalty here or there to kind of hurt them a little bit, even though they did have it 1st and 1.
They had it 1st and 1. Again, just a couple miscues, some bad snaps. There you had the missed receiver. Gives them an extra 6 or 7 yards, and when you're talking about, a 42-yard field goal versus either a 35-yard field goal or you're going to go for it on 4th down, critical errors by Pendleton there. That's going to cost them those 3 points. Now, let's see, can they respond and get another stop, get one more stop heading into the half? We'll see if they can rise up right here.
It might be a game the rest of the way as they hand it off to Brogan. Gets about 3. Might be just an instance who's going to make the fewest mistakes the rest of the way.
Yeah, and that's the message, I think, on both sides as you go into the half. It's, hey, guys, if we can cut down on the errors and just play a clean half of football, we're going to be in great shape. This is a massive drive here in the overall scheme of the game, too. You can feel the momentum there. Took a little bit of a swing.
Ertl hits his receiver at the 40. First down and more. That's going to be Etherington, the tight end.
And that's exactly it. It's not necessarily that the plays are simple, but for Mount Vernon, they've found a lot of success when they've been able to get it to their tight end, to the receivers in space, not go backwards, be able to use Brogan.
Now the handoff around the left side, looking for running room is Caden Smith, and he might end up with a yard out of it. I would have thought there he might, knowing that there wasn't a lot of running room, he might try to get out of bounds.
Yeah, it would have been wise to maybe get that clock stopped. I think they're okay. They can run that up tempo if need be.
Well,
at this point, I don't think you're necessarily celebrating 1-yard gains, but they're not moving backwards either, so
exactly.
It's good.
Plus, they also have the 3 timeouts remaining. Pendleton with just 1. And looks like that Mount Vernon will use one of those 3 timeouts right there. Want to remind you, today's game brought to you in part by the Morales Group, building better futures one story at a time. They have locations in Indianapolis, Zionsville, Anderson, Columbus, Lafayette. Contact them at 317-472-7600. As we mentioned at halftime, there'll be a little extended halftime because of homecomings. You're probably talking about 30 minutes. So
30 minutes, and that's pretty long for a high school game, and it's probably likely possible a couple of the players might be involved in the ceremony, so that's always going to make things a little different for that halftime talk and regroup. So definitely a unique situation playing on a homecoming night. Mount Vernon would feel great if they could get some points out of this drive and give themselves a little bit of breathing room. Flip side, Pendleton would feel great if they could get a stop and maybe even put some more points on the board. So
no kidding.
Huge couple of plays coming up here.
I'm not so sure I'd let him participate in homecoming. Not after the first half. It hasn't been focused, as we mentioned, for Mount Vernon.
That's right.
Sorry, guys. King, nope, you're out.
Yeah.
Get in the locker room.
King disqualified.
That's right. Man in motion was Edmonds. Hurdle to throw. Now tucks it under himself, and he's across midfield. Got the first down, though, all the way to the 48-yard line. You don't think we'd get in trouble if we were the head coach and we would let him do homecoming, would you?
Oh boy, that's dicey. I don't know. There's a few rules I think you have in the school world. One is don't mess with homecoming. I don't know. Every school is a little different.
That's true. Under 2 minutes remaining, and we've got another stoppage of play. I think they might have an issue with the chain on the other side. That's called what we used to call a kink in your chain there, huh? But hey, we have those technology and we're still using chains, right?
Mount Vernon's fine with the kink in the chain. Let's do a little 7-yard first down instead of a 10. That's
right.
Totally fine.
So it'll be first down. Ertl, quick hitter over the middle. Ball caught 40 and then dropped. Trey Jones had it, and he started running before he had full possession.
And I don't think we've called Trey Jones' name on anything moving backwards, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. But he's going to wish he had that one back. He had some room to run. Could have been a big gainer. Again, kind of in line with just a little bit of the sloppiness of the half. A great throw from Ertl. Hit him in stride. Exactly what you want. It's been kind of their most successful play of the evening, too. Those quick hitters to receivers in space.
So it'll be second down and 10. Ertl again has time. Gets hit right there, and he's going to go down. That will be a sack. And a big defensive play there for Pendleton. That was number 31, I believe, and they're getting the stop for Pendleton, Ethan Faulkner.
Great play by Faulkner. Let's watch him get through the line here. Just sheds that block, goes straight for the quarterback, and you had Ertl was locked in on a route downfield, was really looking for the big play, didn't see the defender closing in, and he takes a big hit.
If it wasn't 31 Faulkner, it might have been 34 Nick Trout. Kind of hard to tell from our vantage point, but it might have been Trout. We want to make sure we give credit for that sack. So it'll be 3rd down and 15. 1 minute remaining. Ernl has time. Overthrows his receiver. Intended there for Smith. And it's going to be 4th down.
Another good look. That would have been a tough catch for Smith. He really tried to fire that in there. I think as he let it go, it just sailed on him a little bit. So good job by Pendleton. Standing tall, forcing a punt. Oh, here we go. This is what we've been waiting for on the special teams side of things. It's the
Well, wait a minute.
No.
They had to call a timeout, I believe. They had one man short on their special teams unit, and that kind of blew that. Now, they still might do it, but there's another mistake that you're 6 games in, you generally aren't going to see.
Okay, so tonight we've had the 1st and 1, and I think we were just about to see a fake field goal from what would have been a 70-yard field goal attempt. I'm seeing all kinds of things tonight I don't typically see in a football game.
Oh.
But we'll never know unless they try it again right here. But something crazy was about to happen right there on that play.
Well, and there again, you had Brogan was late getting on, and you kind of see the frustration right there on one of the coaches. Because I think they felt they might have caught Pendleton a little bit off guard right there.
Yeah, I'm sure they go into that play like looking for something on the defensive end, and if they can catch you sleeping, they're going to go into that audible and do whatever it was that they did there. So the coach is feeling like they really missed an opportunity there. So, okay, we'll just try the I don't do math from this far very often. It's 70-yard field goal.
Yeah. Well, they're going.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yep.
We're going to see it again.
And so the holder will take off and run with it, and he'll get to the 45. He'll be short of the 1st down. That was Etherington. So they tried the same play unsuccessfully there. So they basically, it's a short punt if you really want to look at it. But
I don't know that I like that there in that situation, because I think if you feel like you want to go for it, I think you just run one of your better plays there. It's 4th and 15, low probability either way probably. But like we said before, they liked what they saw coming out, whatever formation Pendleton was in defense, and felt like they could go for it. Just didn't work out. So Pendleton, good field position and a chance here, 49 seconds, see if they can get some points.
You see Wilson throwing and then dropped. Durloff on the receiving end of that one. I'll tell you what, I'm actually a little bit disappointed from what I'm seeing tonight from just both teams and the amount of mistakes you're seeing in this football game. I would expect this maybe 1 or 2, maybe even 3 games in, but not when you're 6 games in.
Yeah, 6 games in, it's just been real sloppy football. The good news is it's first half. They're going to regroup at halftime. I think both teams are probably going to play a good second half, if I had to guess.
Wilson fires in and out of the intended receiver's hands there, and it falls incomplete. He fired that one pretty good.
Yeah, and it's contagious too, right? Like mistakes kind of compound on themselves. So you've had some penalties. Now all of a sudden, a player or two's dropped a pass here and there, and now everybody's dropping the ball. It's just tough right now. Tough to get yards.
I got to ask you, though, with those gloves, how do you ever drop the football?
It's tough. If somebody could do it, I could. But, yeah.
Handoff. Big hole up the middle. There's your fullback, Roberts.
And that'll work. Opens up some options now, because I think there with the run, they're thinking, okay, we'll run it up the middle, let this clock run down, and just go into halftime down 10-7. All of a sudden, first down.
Yeah.
Gives himself another opportunity.
Uh-oh.
But
must be National Throw the Yellow Flag Night or something.
It's my favorite when there's 2 or 3 flags down and then the referee up at the top is like, yep, I'm going to get in on this party. Let me throw my laundry too.
I've had kind of a boring night. I need to, be active.
If I was a referee and I had the flag, I'd be right there with them. I'd be throwing it every chance I got, I think. So.
But that way it shows you're still involved in the
That's
game,
right?
So now it's going to be first down and 15. By the way, with the way Roberts is running, bring back the fullback. All right, Wilson to throw near side. It's a low throw. It is not complete. It did hit the turf. That was Caden Sims. You know, when I see, and I'm from old school stuff, when I see Roberts or another fullback running the football, it gets me excited because I understand the game has changed over the years, but the fullback needs to come back.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's found success even in this small sample tonight. He got one good run. I would have loved to have seen him get another chance right after.
Wilson to throw and picked off. Throw was, in fact, a lot underthrown and intercepted the other way. And that was number 10, Gavin Joy, on the INT, our second interception.
And this pass just gets away from it. It's got too much air under it. It's going to be a tough catch either way because the receiver's running out of real estate. But floats it up there, it gets picked off. Probably not going to hurt him too bad here this late in the half. But obviously, not a way you would want to end your offensive possessions if you're Pendleton through this first half.
Ertl threw one earlier. Wilson gets one this time. 17.8 remaining. I might be just willing to kneel on the football right now. Let's go in the locker room.
I don't think that's a bad idea. Let's just ensure that there's going to be no more mistakes. Mount Vernon does not appear to have that mindset.
No, they do not.
They're going to give it a go here.
First down from the 32. Ertl. Sideline, ball caught, and let's see if he stays in bounds. He got to around the 37-yard line. I don't think there's much you're going to do here.
There's not much, and I think I'm looking for one more play where you run one of these outs, get to the sideline, get around the 50, and then let Ertl turn it loose on a Hail Mary. I think that's the game plan here if I had to guess.
All right, second down. Still have a timeout remaining. Ertl looks like he's going to try to run it himself and just nowhere to go. Player down there for Mount Vernon. And the clock runs out in the first half. Some other player got hit from behind right there from Pendleton.
A fitting play to end the half, I think.
I agree. It's been ugly, hasn't it?
It's been an ugly half, and that was an ugly play, and I think that's how the half should have basically been summed up. A good finish there. Fitting.
Well, before we take a timeout, again, it'll be a little extended halftime. And again, we don't want to beat a dead horse here, but I think we're both a little bit surprised. You look at Pendleton, 4-1 coming in. I thought the way Mount Vernon played last week, they were much better, especially defensively, and they've been good defensively tonight overall, but just has not been the kind of game we really thought it would be coming in so far.
Yeah, not the kind of game you expected. Definitely sloppy on both sides. I think halftime offers you an opportunity to say on both teams, okay, you're within 3 points. It's a brand new game, second half. Let's go out here and play a good half of football, and we're going to be in good shape. I think that's going to be the message from both teams after they get through rehashing what went down in the first half.
Yeah, the biggest thing so far really been those penalties, and Mount Vernon, it looked like they were having one about every other play, but those two holding penalties kind of hurt them quite a bit on one of their drives, and so you got to find a way to clean that up. Throwing the football-wise also hadn't been terrible, but you can kind of tell Ertl's not quite on his mark tonight.
Ertl's not been quite on his mark, but I think there's a lot of encouraging things that we've seen from him tonight. When he's able to get the ball to his receivers in space, great things happen.
Yeah.
So if you're Mount Vernon, how do we create those opportunities for our receivers in the second half? Ertl, you're doing a good job. You're seeing the right things. Let's just kind of focus a little bit and get some of those passes on target, and we're going to have a good half.
As we mentioned, it is homecoming here for Mount Vernon, so our halftime will be a little bit extended, more than usual, but we will come back once we get some updated scores. We'll try to pass those along, and if we get a chance here at halftime as well, we'll also check out the latest coaches poll in high school football this week. But we'll come back with the halftime update in a few moments. It's 10-7 Mount Vernon.
My students definitely inspire me. I love my job. I love the light bulb moments. I love being that caretaker and caregiver for other people's children all day long.
I've noticed that a lot of kids are really nervous and anxious about doing everything perfect. And I think that when they really get to know me and I get to know them, I can help them understand that just being their self is right. As long as they believe in themselves and are confident in themselves, then their schoolwork shines.
What distinguishes Mount Vernon Community School Corporation? Our students are proof of the high-quality academics and exceptional dynamic teachers. Mount Vernon schools are among the top districts in the state, with our 4-star schools and an A-rated district. But it's more than that. Mount Vernon schools are known for instilling core values that inspire excellence, build character, and support others.
Mount Vernon is a place where hard work and big dreams equal amazing accomplishments. We are a growing school district in the heart of Indiana, and we provide our students with exemplary academics in a blended learning environment. Through a multitude of opportunities and a safe learning environment, we inspire a love of learning in our students so that they can thrive as adults. I believe all students deserve to learn at high levels, and for us to accomplish that vision, we must meet the needs of the whole child. Our one-to-one environment helps to provide enriching educational projects that challenge students. As a matter of fact, our district was one of the first in the state to be kindergarten through grade 12 STEM certified. Mount Vernon Community School Corporation provides high-quality academics, arts, and athletics.
My education at Mount Vernon Middle School has been outstanding because the teachers are just so amazing and they know exactly what they're teaching and they know how to cater to every student's needs.
I love how many clubs and activities we have. There's always another club that makes you feel like you belong there and like you have a place in this school.
Every person can come to Mount Vernon Middle School and get a good education.
Our teachers inspire students with a passion for learning, nurturing their growth in innovative, progressive ways.
I don't care how good you are, I want you to try your best at this. And as long as you try your best, there's a good chance they're going to succeed in what they're doing in that day. So I always say, just do your best.
I feel here at Mount Vernon, we have an increased rigor that some students might not be used to, but that's what they're going to see in high school, that's what they're going to see in college, that's what they're going to expect to see in the workforce.
Together as a Mount Vernon family, we provide positive experiences to challenge and develop each child to their fullest potential.
All 3 of my children have graduated, they have all received scholarships. And the teachers, they go out of their way to make sure that the young people are well prepared, starting from kindergarten level. This is a community, we're a family, we're all here to work together.
Our students thrive, strive, and succeed because at Mount Vernon Schools, we engage, educate, and empower. It's what we believe. It's what we do for all our students.
Discover Mount Vernon, where teachers are focused on one thing, your child.
We are Mount Vernon Schools!
My name is Jay Jones. I'm the commissioner of the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference, and we appreciate you tuning in to tonight's game. We hope you'll stay tuned to SRN for tomorrow's Heartland Conference Game of the Week, showcasing some of the best small college football in the Midwest. We look forward to seeing you then.
Bertner Electric Incorporated is fully licensed and bonded electrical contractor for your protection. Our electricians are available 24/7 for service calls and specialize in electrical service and storm damage repair. For more information, give us a call today.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We really focus on modern application development, DevOps, so automating the whole process of delivering your solution, and cloud architecture.
It's very important for mid to large companies to have cloud partners because you can't possibly have all the talent you need to address the complex ecosystem of the cloud.
We advise them on all parts of their business. And then when things are defined and we see a clear goal, Clean Slate also then goes and does the work.
We have a team that is very passionate about what they do. We love to solve complex problems, and there's a lot of companies out there that will avoid, getting involved in those things, and I think that's why clients like to work with us.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience on a great budget. We've got incredible specials, great service. Today's dish that we're going to highlight is going to be our Aspen Blue Sirloin. It is, again, our premium Black Angus certified beef, and we top that with a blue cheese crust. Again, everything that we do here is made from scratch, and it's no different from our steaks. We hand cut all our steaks in-house. So our team back there it's just an incredible team. Everything that they do, they take so much pride in. They put a little bit of themselves into everything that they do over here, especially since it is a made from scratch concept. We want everybody to come, visit us, enjoy some great food with some great service. Bring your friends, bring your family, come have some great food, have a great time with us with some of the best comfort scratch food.
Warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Thanks to you. Standing with us. You are truly making a difference in the lives of our neighbors in need.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt? It's not a game.
Insulting referees. It's not a game.
Threatening officials. It's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes. It's not a game.
Violent language in the stands. It's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline. It's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot. It's not a game.
Welcome back here to Mount Vernon. As we'd mentioned, it is homecoming tonight for the Marauders. We'll get you updated on some of the scores. And before we do, let's preface this, Zach, by saying if you thought this game was a little bit funky, when you hear some of these scores, you're going to think the same thing. I just wondered, would you go outside and see if there's a full moon or something?
I was going to say, did we check and see if it was a full moon tonight? Because the results out there are just wacky.
Well, let's get you updated. Here's what we have so far tonight. A lot of the games in the second or halftime. These are the ones that have been reported so far. Hamilton Southeastern leading Zionsville 17-14 at the half. We kind of expected that one there, so that's kind of what we thought. Carmel leading North Central in the second quarter 17-0. Triton Central is pounding Ritter in the second 42-0. How about this one? Brebeuf 25, Roncalli 7.
That is surprising. I don't know that I necessarily thought one team would win over the other, but to see it 25-7 either way is kind of surprising first half.
That's at Roncalli, too, by the way. Also, Center Grove leading Lawrence Central in the second 17-7. New Powell is leading Greenfield Central 14-7 in the second. Whiteland over Martinsville 13-9 in period number 2. Now this one is probably going to shock a lot of people. Brownsburg 30, Westfield 0 at halftime, and that game, if I'm not mistaken, is at Westfield. I could be wrong, but I don't care where it's at. That's a big score.
Big score, shocking. You wouldn't expect anybody to get down by 30 in that game, but that just shows you how good Brownsburg is, and they're rolling right now.
And, of course, Indianapolis Lutheran, we know how good they are in single A. They're leading Cecina 35-7 at halftime, so there's another one.
Another shocker, because that was going to be a battle of number ones before Cecina got upset last week, and now all of a sudden they find themselves down 28 at half. That's a big score.
Ben Davis leading Lawrence North. This one is, I don't know if it's a big surprise, but at least maybe what the score is right now, 35-8 in the seconds. Lawrence North is a pretty good football team.
Lawrence has been emerging, and like we said earlier, they only lost to Carmel by 3, so Ben Davis being up 35-8. I think I'm surprised that LN gave up that many points to Ben Davis, especially in one half.
Perry Meridian now leading Greenwood in the second quarter 28-22. Now this one also kind of shocks me too. Bishop Chittard Guerin, no score at halftime.
Yeah, so we've had all these high scores, and then all of a sudden you get to Chittard and Guerin. Nah, we're not going to score. No thanks.
I can't tell you what's going on. Franklin leads Mooresville 10-7. Fishers over Avon 13-10. Those two games are in the second quarter. Speedway leading Connorsville 7-0. Plainfield is leading Decatur Central 15-9. That game at halftime, and one game I did want to mention outside the area because these two teams are undefeated. Centerville is leading Northeastern 16-7. That game also in the second quarter. So much like our game where we have seen, as we mentioned, kind of some disappointing football a little bit here tonight just from the standpoint of the penalties and such, but just some weird things going on for week number 6.
A strange night and a strange week it's turning out to be. Our score isn't indicating too much weirdness, but as we've seen, a lot of mishaps, a lot of miscues. So we'll see if the second half smooths out a little bit and then see how some of those scores end up. Wow.
Yeah, no kidding. We'll try to get you updates on those scores in the second half. If you're a Purdue fan, things not going very well right now as we've kept you updated on that game. They're almost to halftime in Wisconsin, leading Purdue 21-3. And I don't know if you should be too surprised by that. We know Wisconsin, always big physical guys up front. They win a lot of games, as they say, in the trenches, but Purdue's got to get that offense going.
They've got to get the offense going, and then also giving up 21 is a little bit of a sore spot for them. I know with a little bit of the thought there is the new hire is a defensive guy, and they've given up a lot of points in a couple games, but maybe they'll get back into it. Still early in that one, too. So there's still hope for the Boilers, I'd say.
All right, when we come back, we'll continue here at halftime. 10-7, Mount Vernon with a 3-point lead.
High school football fans, welcome back to Friday nights, to pure spirits, to pure sports. Welcome back to high school football.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty.
And I just want to say, welcome back. This is Friday night. This is Indiana high school football. This is your IHSAA.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to ihsaafoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 160,000 participants here in Indiana who take part in high school sports.
Never miss a big game by downloading the IHSAA TV app for free on any device. For your iPhone or Apple TV, check the App Store. On your Android or Android TV device, load up the Google Play Store. Have a Roku or Amazon Fire Stick? We have the app for you. Check us out on Facebook Live, Twitter, or YouTube Live by searching for IHSAA TV. Or as always, click to IHSAATV.org for quick and easy access to your favorite IHSAA live and archived events.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
You're good at keeping the car clean. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Welcome back again to Mount Vernon. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Wheeler Mission. Move your feet so others can eat. The 21st year for the Drumstick Dash, which I think Zach is going to run in November 23rd, 9 o'clock. It's only 2.5 miles.
Oh, when is that? November 23rd. I think I've got plans, actually.
If you want more information, drumstickdash.org. Well, if you change your plans, there's the website for you.
I'll be checking my calendar as we get nearer to November 23rd.
You know, every time I see the replay of some of the races they do like that, it's a little, everybody's all bundled up. I wonder why on November 23rd, huh?
Yeah, you know, it's for some reason it's just not sounding that appealing to me right at the moment, but maybe I'll get in the spirit as we get a little closer to Turkey Day.
By the way, the latest AP poll is out for another week in 6A. We'll just run down the top 5. If we have time, we'll go a little bit further. But right now, top 5 in 6A, Brownsburg. Now we know why they're number 1. followed by Center Grove, Ben Davis, Westfield, and Crown Point. So you're looking at 4 teams out of the Indianapolis area. Then you have Hamilton Southeastern, Fishers, Cathedral. You're talking about 7 out of 8 right here in Indy.
Yeah, it's always been kind of top-heavy with the Indy area, and then especially now with some of the conference realignment, at least with Carmel. Center Grove now playing some different teams and getting out there. I think it makes it a little bit more of an unknown, but at the same time, you know who the high flyers are and who the good teams are. So
boy, what I heard from a good source that from up north in the region, when they play good football up there, they said the reason why we don't have success in Indianapolis when we come down is because of the speed of the game is so much different.
Yeah, I can see that. I think, football has kind of exploded anyway in the last couple of decades in the Indy area, and yeah, you really see a different level of athlete, especially in that 6A class. Some of those larger schools, they're just putting athletes at every single position. I can see that speed would be a big factor.
Quick check of 5A Fort Wayne Snyder, number 1, followed by Bloomington North, Valpo, Plainfield, and Bloomington South. In South and North played last week. In 4A East Central, just rolling everybody. St. Leon ought to be very happy about that football team again this year.
Yeah, East Central seems to always be up there towards the top as well, and they've really got a nice program, got things rolling again, and you always expect to see them towards the top of 4A.
Kokomo number 2, followed by Evansville Rights, Evansville Memorial, and Greenfield Central came in number 5 this week. That they may drop. They're losing tonight. Bishop Chatard number 1 in 3A, Heritage Hills, Lawrenceburg, West Lafayette is tied along with Guerin. And then in 2A, Brownstown Central, Bluffton, LaVille, Triton Central, and Linton. And finally in 1A, Indianapolis Lutheran, who we mentioned is winning big, followed by Adams Central, Carroll, Flora, Providence, and Park Tudor. All right, Zach, second half ready to go. I think I'm going to ask you anyway, keys to the second half, but it might be pretty obvious. Let's cut down on the mistakes.
Cut down on the mistakes, clean it up, play some clean football. Pendleton, they've established the run. I think I would like to see them air it out a little bit just to establish that they can do some different things. And then what would be ideal for them is being able to either get this back to 10-10 or get a lead, and then they can really kind of milk the clock a little bit. For Mount Vernon, defense. It's not been the theme of their year, but tonight it's really showed up and kind of saved their first half. I think they want to see that momentum continue and see if they can't extend this lead a little bit and control things.
That will drive the return man into the end zone. You know what? You had the long halftime, so the coaches had more time now to really discuss what they need to do in the second half. And I would venture to say, like you said, there might have been some colorful discussions going on just to get these guys focused for the second half.
Yeah, I think so. And that's just your typical high school halftime when a team hasn't played a good half, and especially when both teams, I think, expect more out of their respective sides. Both teams just were not clicking on all cylinders, really, not even close. So, the coaches made some adjustments at halftime.
Hey, Wilson's going to try to air it out, went right at Kiesling, and that's going to fall incomplete. So they're kind of looking to loosen up that Mount Vernon run defense a little bit right there, too. Maybe they get them thinking they're going to throw a little more.
I love that play right there. It sends a message that we're going to try to, like you said, open it up. The receiver had him beat. The pass was just a little long. If they get that look again, I think you're confident your quarterback will hit that, and that's a good play to start the half, even though they don't convert.
So it'll be second down. Mentioned Wilson coming in with 5 touchdown passes on the year. So far, nothing tonight for this offense. There's your fullback, Roberts. Roberts bullying his way to the 25-yard line.
There's that fullback run again, and he just bounces off of one defender, falls forward for about 3 or 4 yards.
I'm going to date myself here. I always do that with a fullback. Larry Zonka, Norm Bulash, those guys back in the day. You don't remember those guys, do you?
I don't have vivid memories of those guys, no.
Most of the guys I work with don't, so you don't feel bad. So it'll be third down and 5. Pendleton's first possession. There's your fullback. Nowhere to go this time. That run defense was really very, very good on that play, stopping Roberts. Looks like they'll give him to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and that time he tried to bounce off, but somebody had him down by the leg, was unable to get out of that grasp. Another good series defensively from Mount Vernon, forcing an early punt here in the third quarter.
Well, you know what? We're so far seeing an offensive struggle here for both teams tonight. Again, Pendleton got their 7 on the punt return for a touchdown. And now they'll have to punt the football away, which they've had really, really good night punting the ball. And that'll be fair caught at about the 43-yard line. So good field position here for the Marauders.
They have, and a good decision there by the returner just going up and fielding that ball, because we've seen some of those punts hit the ground and bounce forward 10, 15 yards. So good play there. A small play, but perhaps an important one as he saves some important yardage, and they get to start from the 44.
Zach, you got to be going through your mind, though, at some point here for Pendleton that offense just isn't generating anything that puts a little more pressure in your defense now, because if Mount Vernon goes up by 10 or 14 points, this thing could be over.
Yeah, your major, the red flags after that drive are coming up, and it's all having to do with that momentum and how it feels right now. Just the feel of the game is just, we've been talking about both teams cleaning things up, but Mount Vernon, if you just clean it up, have another good drive, let your defense go to work, like you could really see this game open up. It doesn't feel the same on the flip side. It doesn't feel like Pendleton would have the ability to open it up and right on cue. I don't know if I just jinxed them or what, but we're moving backwards already.
Well, I think you were doing well up until the center decided to kind of hike the football, and then he stopped. That's not legal, I think.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's a good thought if you can fake him out a little bit, but you better hope the officials don't see it.
Yeah, so they'll move backwards again. Again, just takes Brogan a little bit more out of the equation, which is what I hate about that more than anything if I'm Mount Vernon.
2nd down and 11. Ertl setting up the screen pass, and it will be caught. It was bobbled at first, but then eventually hauled in by Caden Smith. He'll get some extra yardage to the 49.
Yeah, great play. You could see that developing. The defense was able to penetrate way too easily, and it became apparent this was going to be a screen. Just a little off on the pass. Probably cost him a few yards, but still a good haul by Smith, able to turn it into a positive play.
So now they have it at 3rd down and 5. They'll keep it here with the quarterback, Ertl. He'll get the 1st down and more to about the 43.
Yeah, really good read there from Ertl. I think Brogan would have had a chance going up the middle there, but he realized he had room on the outside if he kept it. Nice read.
Put it actually at the 42-yard line for the 1st down. Brogan, again, the only offensive score, touchdown-wise, of the night. And he had that long run in the first quarter, and then since then we've had a special team score and a field goal, and that's been it. 1st down and 10. Ertl to Brogan, finds a nice hole up the middle, gets about 8 on that one.
Good play, and we saw Mount Vernon early in the game do some hurry up, kind of some up-tempo. I think here we'll see a little bit more of what we saw when they played Delta last week. Let's slow it down just a little bit. See him take that play clock all the way down.
So it'll be 2nd down and 5. Brogan again over the right side, got the 1st down near the 31, maybe 32-yard line, depending on the spot of the football. But he did get enough for the 1st down. Now, your drive is going here. I'm not going to try to jinx it, but can they stay clean the rest of the way?
I have a recipe for that if you're asking me. So what I would do is 2 good runs in a row by Brogan. I think it's safe. It's simple. I would give it to him again and just say, let's ride this until they stuff him. But,
Boy,
okay, tough snap. Tough to do when they have that kind of snap. Yeah, it's just one of those nights.
Oh, my. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. They will say he got back to the line of scrimmage. So we've seen some high snaps. We've seen some low snaps. We've seen some snaps that have been bobbled and dropped. We've covered about every part of it so far.
We've covered it all. Makes me wonder what we can see the rest of this game.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. And there's
another
some more
one.
movement.
Yeah. Just confusion there, and you can see
that was Zach Brewer who he's throwing he's like, what's going on here? And I think the rest of us are kind of wondering ourselves.
Snap count issues. He obviously got a different message than the rest of the line. Frustration boiling over. Don't blame him.
You know, it's kind of like when your wife says, don't you ever listen to me? I mean, that's what I get all the time. You never listen to me, so maybe Zach wasn't listening. So it'll be 2nd down and 15. The pitch, Brogan over the right side, just not much there. That is always hard for me unless you have really good downfield blocking or your lineman can get out there to run on that short side of the field. There's just not enough room.
There's not enough room, and it's probably what I would think is they're maybe going to set something up here for this play. But, yeah, either way, there's just not enough room to maneuver. Can't get a big play running off the short side there.
As you see, a 3rd down and 12, and they have to get to the, 22-yard line for the 1st down. Again, Ertl will check at the line of scrimmage. Fakes the handoff to Brogan, gets tripped up and goes down. There's number 34, Nick Trout. Now, we talked about maybe got that sack in the first half, but that's a big, big defensive play.
Huge play from Nick Trout. He's able to penetrate the line. If Ertl can get by him, I think there's a chance he gets that 1st down, but he gets tripped up. Really good play, good effort there by Trout.
Well, it's going to be 4th down and 10, and right here, Mount Vernon will go ahead and go for it. Those 3 guys up front opening things up for the linebackers for Pendleton to make that last play. Let's see what Ertl, another low snap on this one, gets rid of it, and then it is incomplete. Too high for Caden Smith, and that was as ugly as my prom date. That was just not good, was it?
It's just brutal. They're just making it hard. There's not much to add other than that. It's just everything that should be simple is becoming more complicated. So then when actual adversity hits, they're not able to overcome it on these drives. And right there, even bad snap, Ertl makes a pretty good play, steps up into traffic and delivers a dart, but receiver's unable to pull it in. And here we go, Pendleton again, another opportunity. Can they take advantage?
Yeah, you got to wonder when they will. That's Keaton Jones, and he gets picked up and hauled back after a short gain. Yeah, you're only going to be given so many opportunities to take advantage of another team's mistakes, and you got to feel here pretty soon because you look at the clock, it's now down to 6 minutes.
Yeah, I think this is one of those things, like whatever you have in your offensive repertoire, like you don't save it. This is the time to use it. At all costs, I think you need to start scoring if you're Pendleton. The run's not working real well. If they have something they can open up and get a receiver in space, I would love to see that here.
Over the middle, ball caught, 40, 1st down. That was a nice throw by Wilson. And a lot of traffic right there is Reese Reddington. Looked like he was on the receiving end of that. He loses his helmet, so he'll come out of the game.
Yeah, Reddington, another big, strong receiver for Pendleton. I like that dynamic. You know, you've got these big, strong athletes. Like, let's get the ball to the playmakers and let them make a play. That's exactly what they were able to do on that throw and catch.
So a 1st down at the 43-yard line. Looks like the fullback Roberts is the lone setback. Take that back. That's actually going to be Jones on the carry, and Jones will be driven back, but he got very close to that 1st down. Nice run by Jones between the tackles. By the way, he only weighs 180 pounds. He's a little bit bigger than what we would see in Wilson at 155.
He really did a nice job of slithering his way through any little tiny gap there. Turned a short run into a nice chunk.
Yeah, gave him a 1st down on that one to the 48-yard line. And he's going to get the call again. Big hole up the middle across the 40 and near the 39-yard line. That's going to be another run of 9 yards.
Yeah, same thing again. About 6 yards into the run, he makes a nice little cut, avoids contact. Gets him to a 2nd and short situation.
And the hurry-up offense again.
Wouldn't be surprised if they give it to him one more time here.
Yeah, I like to ride the hot hand, too.
Yeah, I do, too. I don't think either team has done enough of that tonight. There's been some things that have worked well, and I think each team has gone away from it a little too soon.
So they will give it to him again, and there you have a first down.
Yeah, I like that play a lot. Exactly. Hot hand. Let him do the work. Let him go get that first down. Well done.
And give those guys up front a lot of credit opening up some big holes.
Absolutely. They're working hard in there. Not easy when you're not a renowned passing offense to open up those holes, but they're doing a nice job on this drive, making things easy for the running back.
Caden Sims, the lone receiver to the right. And once again, they'll hand it off. Here's your fullback opening up some big holes as well. That is Roberts inside the 30 down to about the 28.
Yeah, and as we get late into the second half, that's always a factor as well. That offensive line can start to wear down the defense. We know that Mount Vernon has struggled a little bit on defense. We're starting to see that dynamic play out here.
Mount Vernon needs a timeout right here. They lead it by 3. I'll tell you what, I'm impressed right now with Pendleton Heights and their ability to run the football, and it's like you say, if it's working for it, just keep riding that horse.
If it's working, just keep doing it. This is a really nice drive they're putting together, exactly what the doctor ordered. Down 3, they just haven't been able to get anything going.
Quarterback will keep it himself. That's going to be Wilson. He might get a couple on that play. That was Aiden Lindstrom, the linebacker there to make the stop, but got enough for another first down.
Yeah, and they had a drive earlier this game where they got in this area, stalled out, missed a field goal. They're going to be thinking about that and thinking about, okay, what can we do here to make a little progress, get down close to the goal line. A score here is absolutely essential.
You know, Wilson just throwing dangerous enough to keep you a little bit off balance.
Yeah.
Here comes the blitz, handoff up the middle, and another nice run by Jones inside the 20. Well, what all of a sudden has happened with those guys up front where they're basically open up big holes?
Yeah, up front they're just getting penetration, and they're able to move up the field. They're allowing those gaps and creases for the running back, and he's taking advantage too. Jones is just able to slither through those tiny openings. I don't think they've looked to exploit that a whole lot tonight until this drive. And I do think they're starting to wear down the defense a little bit as well.
Well, here they come to the line of scrimmage, second down and about 4. Wilson, keeping himself, has a big hole over the left side down to about the 11. Tell you what, I think if he would have went further to the outside, he might have had a better run.
I was just thinking the same thing. A little bit of hesitation probably cost him a potential touchdown there. He just wasn't quite sure if he could get around the edge. Definitely had some space if he had just kept going.
Well, by far, so far tonight, their most impressive drive down to the 11-yard line. Boy, they, like you said a little bit ago, they need points out of this.
They need points, and if they can get points, they've also chewed off a big chunk of the third quarter.
So Wilson first down, and a little handoff on the double reverse on that one, and that went nowhere. See, I'm not so sure you really need to do that at this stage.
I don't like it, and the reason why is you've had success. This I like. Just run. Okay, then we're going to add a little wrinkle here. I think that's just doing too much to try to – I guess you're out thinking yourself a little bit. Again, easy to second guess when you see it, but I would have just liked some power up the middle there.
Well, not only was that misplayed, it looks like we have a penalty flag down as well. And now we'll mark that off. So Again, the theme of this game tonight has been just more mistakes, and when you start getting something good, you try to go away with it or from it with something kind of unconventional. Now you're back to the 21.
Back to the 20, and here we go. You got first and essentially goal from the 21-yard line. And when your success has been on the ground, you've just made that mountain that much higher to climb. So let's see if they can climb out of it here. I would like to see them maybe open it up through the air. Obvious passing down, but I'd say embrace it. See if they can get something going through the air.
Roberts, the lone setback. See what Wilson has in store. It'll be Roberts up the middle. Roberts inside the 15, bullying his way before finally being pushed back. That makes you again wonder, instead of doing the little end around stuff, why didn't you just take it right at him again?
Yeah, I like that play a lot too. And with your line just moving, all this momentum they've got, I'd say, let's let it ride. Great play there on 1st and 20. He gets a big chunk back.
Mount Vernon trying to get a little size inside as Roland Tremble back in at 295. So here come the Arabians at 2nd down and 11. Under a minute remaining. Hand off to the fullback again, and he's going to get stopped this time, maybe a yard or so, and that's it. Roberts on the carry. Helps having Tremble in there, 295, doesn't it?
It does. He's a big boy in there, takes up a lot of space in the middle. Tough to run up the middle on him.
Well, here's a big 3rd down play for this Arabians offense.
All kinds of different scenarios could play out here depending on how much yardage they get here. You're going to be left with a decision to kick and tie or possibly go for it if they get close. Let's see what happens.
Wilson to the end zone, tipped away at the last moment. Great play there for Mount Vernon.
Yeah, good defensive play. I think he just needed a little bit more air under that pass, but can't reiterate enough how much that was a good defensive play as he was able to get that ball at the high point, knock it away.
Did not see who knocked that away. It might have been Evan Privet. So now the field goal from the 17-yard line. So this would be a 27-yard attempt. It is up, and it is good. Just over 12 seconds remaining here in the 3rd. We're tied at 10.
My name is Jay Jones. I'm the commissioner of the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference, and we appreciate you tuning in to tonight's game. We hope you'll stay tuned to SRN for tomorrow's Heartland Conference Game of the Week, showcasing some of the best small college football in the Midwest. We look forward to seeing you then.
Hey, Indiana. Let's clear the air about vaping. Glue, rat poison, paint. We all know these products contain poisons like formaldehyde, arsenic, and lead. And these are just a few of the chemicals you'll find in e-cigarette vapor. Let's clear the air, Indiana. Don't puff this stuff. Visit don'tpuffthisstuff.com to join the fight and spread the word.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Piper Logistics. From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, we do it all. 3 solutions, 1 service. Contact them at 317-396-1023. Are you disappointed if you're Pendleton? I know you got points out of it, but are you disappointed you didn't score the 7? Because bottom line is they were running the football so well up until that one play ended up with a holding penalty, had to settle.
If there's any disappointment, I'd say it's minimal because you did get points on the board. And more importantly, I think you had a fairly clean drive where you were able to actually get some progress made. I think they know the rest of the game. There's something they can lean on, and they found something there. So maybe a little disappointed they didn't get the full touchdown out of it, but also they got a lot out of that drive still.
Kickoff goes out of bounds. That almost stayed in play, so a dangerous decision there by Trey Jones, but it does go out of bounds. By the way, in the 4th quarter, Hamilton Southeastern leading Zionsville 24-17. Carmel now shutting out North Central 17-0 in their contest. Get you some other updates. How about this? Brebeuf 32, Roncalli 7.
Wow.
That is in the third quarter. Center Grove leading Lawrence Central 24-7. New Pal and Greenfield tied at 14 in the fourth.
Heck of a game. That'll be a great finish.
We wait on the re-kick on this one. Whiteland now leading Martinsville 27-16. Let me scroll through here. Monrovia leading Beech Grove 32-6 in their contest. Brownsburg 37, Westfield 7. They play in the second half of that contest. Let's see, Lutheran now leading their contest 42-14 over Cecina. And we're going to kick it off again right here. We'll try to get you updated on some of the other scores that are going on as we get closer to the end of this one. Mount Vernon's going to have a good field position right here if you don't get a good deep kick on this one. Near sideline, return from the 15-yard line. That's going to be Jones at the 40. 45 out to about midfield. So a great return by Trey Jones.
Yeah, and some good blocking there on special teams too. I think one of the Pendleton Heights defenders just got blocked for about 25 yards down the field. Incredible.
You know, you get to some of those special teams, you start playing well there, you might get a chance to play on offense or defense.
That's right. And if I'm coaching, that's exactly what I want to see. Somebody giving it their all. Really good run. Good decision then to make him re-kick, and you see why. Explosive return man. He's able to get him all the way to midfield.
Well, Luke Ertl will have perhaps just one final play right here with 4.7 seconds remaining in this third quarter. They're going to run it to the short side. There is Brogan. Big-time collision. Did he lose the football? That's the question. They'll say he did get it back, though, or somebody got it back. It'll be second down. That's one of your linemen, I believe. Nope, that's actually going to be Trey Jones. Was able to sneak in there and get the loose football. We'll take a timeout. We'll head to the fourth, tied at 10.
We never really realize how much we depend on electricity until the power goes out. Get those lights back on when you choose the certified electricians at Bertner Electric Incorporated. Locally owned and operated, we are a member of the Better Business Bureau and provide only the highest quality of customer service. For more information, give us a call today.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
We are down to our last 12. We have a replay of that fumble. You'll get a look at it because this really could have been a real big turning point in the ball game.
And a good run to start. Just a big hit, knocks the ball loose. You'll see Brogan here. Yeah, he's upset with himself because he knows even though it's a big hit, there was nothing necessarily jarring that would make the ball come loose there. Just maybe a lack of focus for a split second as he saw the big hit coming. But they're fortunate. They fall on it. They'll keep the ball.
Clint Miller, I believe, was the one responsible of forcing that fumble. Here's Brogan trying to get to the outside, and other than the one run today, Zach, he has not had a really big night.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to find a lot of space, and right now Pendleton is really creeping up and making sure that he's not going to find any other holes. Huge play here.
You see Zach Brewer? He's
getting the crowd pumped up.
He's very animated. Of course, he had that one penalty that certainly set him off a little bit in that third quarter. That's Jones resetting near side. Ertl behind Jones, but he makes the catch at the 39.
And that's a huge catch. Keeps the drive alive. I was just starting to feel like maybe Pendleton had that momentum, had that feel where it felt like they were in control of the game, but just not quite able to get off the field.
So now it'll be first down. Ertl to Brogan. Brogan gets tripped up at the last moment. There is Nick Trout again, the inside linebacker.
Yeah, Nick Trout again, saving a big play. Trips him up by hitting him on the foot. Brogan's eyes got big there. He could see a lot of space to run.
I was going to ask you, did you see Trey Jones the last time he came to this side? It looked like he was moving. I thought we were in Canadian Football League there for a moment. I don't think he came completely set.
He got a little momentum, a little bit of a jump start there.
So it'll be second down. And there's another flag. Somebody was moving someplace, and it was Caden Smith who was in motion, but they're going to say that is on Pendleton.
Okay, I didn't see the movement there. I wonder if maybe somebody was lined up off sides. Possible somebody jumped.
So once they mark this off.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why I didn't see it, because it was a false start. Okay. My eyes did not deceive me.
So your eyes are still okay, Zach. You're in good shape. So there's another penalty against Mount Vernon. Those guys up front, I can see the, you just kind of look at them and how they're just frustrated. I don't know who jumped, but they don't tell us in high school football. So
yeah, and it's a little on the baffling side. I think having this many issues in a game makes one wonder. Just it's got to be something that can be pretty easily cleaned up, but for whatever reason right now, just everybody is not on the same page. There will be a lot to talk about in this week's film session and as they go through practice. But
well, the two officials, the head official and the sideline official on the other side, got together for a moment. Hand off. This will be an end around to Smith to about the 40. You got about 4 out of that one. Well, the pace of the game has slowed down quite a bit here in this now fourth quarter.
Yeah, both teams have been willing to use the full play clock. No one in a hurry. Resigned to the fact that maybe this is just going to be a close one to the finish, it seems like.
Yeah, and the next field goal perhaps might win you this football game in a low-scoring affair. Ertl has plenty of time, airs it out near side, and tipped away at the last moment. Great play by Nolan Souders, the corner.
Nolan Souders with a heck of a play, and I think you see the Mount Vernon receiver, was it Trey Jones? I think he was wondering why there was no flag on the play. Well, the reason is because he made a beautiful play on the ball. There was contact before the ball was delivered, but staring at the ball the whole time, puts his arm up, deflects it last second. Great play there.
So now on fourth down, the Marauders will maybe punt the football away. That's a bad punt. That one barely got past the line of scrimmage, and it'll take a little bit of a roll to the 29-yard line. Ooh.
Yeah, that was a rough, kind of a high snap. He might have rushed it a little bit and then obviously went off the side of the foot. So 11-yard punt, and Pendleton, man, they've just kind of hung around. They're right there.
And the thing is on that punt, you're right. You didn't have to hurry. There wasn't much of a rush, and you're just trying to coffin corner that thing and give yourself a chance to flip that field even more.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you would love to get that inside the 20, obviously, and just for whatever reason, goes off the side of the foot there. Pendleton will take it.
Quarterback will keep it. That'll be Wilson around the right side. He'll get some yardage on that one out to the 36. By the way, Ben Davis leading Lawrence North now 55-14. Guerin and Bishop Chittard 7-7 in the fourth quarter.
Wow, that's a good game there.
So it looks like that one, much like this one's going to come down perhaps to who might have it in the last possession. Again, we'll update you as we get some more scores. Week 6 of high school football. Handoff, and that's going to be Jones. Looks like he got the first down to about the 40. Now, they rode Jones, they rode Roberts, they used Wilson. They got that big drive up until the time that they tried that double reverse. and then it just kind of imploded from there. Do you go away from it now? You've been running the football well. Do you stay with it?
You stay with it.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't go away from it. I think you make Mount Vernon, whose defense has been put in question earlier this season, you make them stop you. Whatever your bread and butter is, you stick with it and try to avoid penalties. But as we get a laundry on the field here.
No.
Another one.
Are you sure?
Only one official throwing the flag this time. A little disappointing. I thought we might have multiple, but only one.
Come on, guys, get it together here.
Yeah.
By the way, that was a keeper by Wilson. He got a pretty good lick on that. DJ Johnson hit him pretty hard, but unfortunately it's for naught and all the way back to the 33.
Yeah, so that's just absolutely a gut punch on this drive. I mean, if you're Pendleton, where would you rather be than tied late? You're running time off the clock, getting chunk yardage, and then all of a sudden just 10 yards backwards. I still like to see him run the ball here. Mount Vernon hasn't shown me the last drive and a half that they can stop these chunk plays, so I would just stick with it.
Well, they will give it off over the left side. Here's Jones, 45, and almost got the first down.
Yeah, really nice play there. They've been really pounding the ball up the middle, trying to get some of that yardage where it's tough, congested. This time they go out wide, get him out into space.
He got a heck of a spot right there, didn't he?
He did.
They put the nose of the football right at the 50, so that'll be a first down.
They call that rounding up, maybe, I think, is get that ball to the line.
That's kind of like our pay scale. If we're here for so many, we round it to the next.
Yes, yes.
We've got a timeout, I do believe, on the field. It's going to be Mount Vernon calling this timeout. We're tied at 10.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
A warm night here tonight at Mount Vernon, a beautiful night for high school football. And boy, you're thinking a month from now, in fact, I saw our schedule today. We're already thinking about who's going to be what, where, when, and how on that night. And we're about a month away from the first round of sectionals.
It's kind of wild to think that the season really feels like it just got started, but we're already over halfway done. Starting to get some of those crisp fall nights, too, and that's how you know playoffs are right around the corner.
All right, after the timeout, and then Mount Vernon had an extra guy on the field. Let's see if they throw the flag on that or if he got off in time. So, okay, you just came out of a timeout, and then somebody, there you see the flag, somebody didn't get off in time. How did you manage to do that?
You know, it's a good question. Just, again, miscommunication. It's been the theme of the night. I don't know that that's lack of focus. I think somebody just probably mistakenly was in. I don't know how that can happen, but it's, obviously costly. But at this point in the game, you just can't afford that. You just essentially have burned a timeout and then ended up losing yardage on the play anyway. It's kind of a double penalty, really.
We not kept track of the penalties tonight. Probably Mount Vernon around the 10 mark.
Yeah, we're in double digits for sure.
So now we wait even a little bit more. The spot of the football was off about a yard. Okay, so
rounding down from the earlier round up, yeah. We'll make sure it evens out here.
Oh, boy. All right, here we go. First down and 5. Wilson, the keeper, tries to cut back, finds a hole down to the 30. What a run by Isaac Wilson. Please don't tell me there's a flag.
Unless they got him for something there on the late tackle.
How did he actually squirt through there?
Yeah, really nice block there. 48 gets a nice seal. Wilson cuts back nice. Just a really good read by the quarterback. Again, another chunk play. There's not a chance if I'm Pendleton. If I'm thinking what's the right thing to do here, I'm just thinking, man, we gotta do the bread and butter. We gotta run the ball here.
All right, first down from the 30-yard line. There's your big fullback, Roberts, and he's just going to carry tacklers inside the 25.
4 yards after contact. Now seeing a little more frustration bubbling up on the Mount Vernon side. Something out of whack, but again, just a great run. Takes that contact early, drags a defender or two with him.
And give those guys again, Graham and Schnepp, Pollock, Walls, and McKinley up front, doing a great job opening up some holes, but then Roberts did the rest himself. Second down and a yard. Hand off again, and a good second effort got him the first down. If that's Roberts or Jones, one of the two. It's going to be Roberts again. He's getting a workout tonight, isn't he?
Oh, man, I think Roberts, if you asked him right now, he'd be saying he's having a blast. Yeah. He's just getting in there, taking some hits, but delivering some as well. And these are hard yards. These are well-earned yards.
And he came in only with 15 carries.
Yeah. They've found a little something with him tonight. I think you saw it early. One of his first runs, I remember he bounced off, kind of got, 7 or 8 yards, and they've found something, I think. Something they can hang their hat on moving forward for sure.
5'10", 205. They give it to him again, and he holds on, gets inside the 20 to about the 17-yard line. Boy, and they are using a lot of clock, too.
Oh, yeah, the clock pressure is a real thing, and you can see it with every run, every chunk play. That clock is just ticking away. So now it becomes imperative, if you're Mount Vernon, you got to hold them to 3 here.
Yeah. So am I correct in seeing there Mount Vernon has just one timeout remaining? So that's going to be a factor. Second down and 8. Wilson will give it off now to Jones over the left side. Jones inside the 15, maybe to the 13-yard line with a good second effort, but I think they're going to mark him down to 14.
Really nice effort. Huge play here on a 3rd and 4.
Of course, you hear the crowd getting into it now, trying to get that defense going at 3rd down and 5. Like you said, they want to hold him to 3 right here. The blitz is coming. Hand off. Nope, quarterback's going to keep it. That's going to be Wilson. A great fake to Jones. And are they going to say he got the first down? He got to the 9. I think he did.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and move the chains.
How did Wilson at 155 get through there like that? Watch this again.
You were like me. I had my eyes on Jones because I thought he was scooting through for a touchdown. Just takes that contact. There wasn't anybody home when he started moving towards the line. Part of that, I think, is because the fake was so good. It kind of froze the defense. Moves right there, takes a hit, falls forward for the first down. Beautiful play.
What an impressive drive right here by Pendleton Heights. This is just like their last drive until it stalled, and they ended up with 3. So 1st and goal. They will give it to their big fullback again. Ballsy is way to the end zone. Roberts.
Big fella love to see Roberts get rewarded with that 9-yard run. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Checking on the ref.
Take another look at it.
And there's nothing fancy about this right here. He's going to take contact from 4 different defenders and just plow his way into the end zone. Love to see it. Great drive from Pendleton. What a response.
By the way, number 20, Sean Taylor, got drugged into the end zone by Roberts. The extra point is good, and Pendleton now leads it 17-10.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a
from scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience on a great budget. We've got incredible specials, great service. Today's dish that we're going to highlight is going to be our Aspen Blue Sirloin. It is, again, our premium Black Angus certified beef, and we top that with a blue cheese crust. Again, everything that we do here is made from scratch, and it's no different from our steaks. We hand cut all our steaks in-house. So our team back there, it's just an incredible team. Everything that they do, they take so much pride in. They put a little bit of themselves into everything that they do over here, especially since it is made from scratch concept. We want everybody to come, visit us, enjoy some great food with some great service. Bring your friends, bring your family, come have some great food, have a great time with us with some of the best comfort scratch food.
By the way, this broadcast is copyrighted by IndianaSRN and the Indiana High School Athletic Association for the private use of our audience. The use of pictures, video, and audio without the express written permission of the IHSAA is prohibited. All right, here we go. Final 4 minutes of this one. Mount Vernon has just one timeout remaining. This is going to be interesting.
This is going to be a true test for Mount Vernon. What are you made of? This is kind of a turning point in the season, if you ask me. Let's see if they can at least put a good drive together. Again, another bobbled snap, or a bobbled catch there.
That was Ramsey Fox on the return, but again, as you had mentioned, Zach, he fumbles it, and that impedes your ability to get a little momentum going.
Yeah.
And so they got a long way to go.
Theme of the night. It's just little tiny miscues adding up over the course of the game is why you find yourself down 17-10. This really was a game that I think for a while Mount Vernon had that 3-point lead for 2, 3, 4 drives in a row. If they had just been able to score a touchdown and get some cushion, you could have seen this game go in a different direction. But here we are, down 7. We'll see if they have a drive in them here late.
That'll be Jones in motion. Ertl will pitch it. Dangerous pitch. Brogan able to come up with it. Gets to the 29.
Definitely a dangerous pitch, but it worked out. Brogan, nice hands. Catches it in stride and is able to get a positive yardage play.
If you're on the other side of the football, the good news, you kept him in bounds, too. You see that clock ticking away. That one timeout is going to be very, very important for Mount Vernon. And now a flag. I'm not sure what that was. They were pointing at the defensive back just off to the left.
Oh, wow. Maybe an unsportsmanlike conduct.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, okay, illegal sub.
Yep. Yeah, once the offensive team does that hurry up,
okay,
you can't get a guy in.
There you go.
And that's big right there.
That is huge.
Trying to see who that was. It looked like a Jacob Rowley got in late there for Pendleton. So 1st and 10. Boy, this looks a whole lot different out the 44-yard line. See, Jones came to the near side. I don't think he gets stopped, and then just picked off. How about that? The interception, and that could seal it. That's Rylan Kiesling, the linebacker.
What a great play by Kiesling. He's reading the quarterback's eyes the whole way. Let's check this out. So you'll see him. He's kind of in the drop. Oh, what a great play.
Yeah, he never saw him. That pass was intended for Etherington to tie it in, and he just never saw him.
He never saw him. He kind of stayed low there behind the line. As soon as he saw that quarterback rearing back to throw, he made his leap and was able to make a great play.
Luke Ertl tonight, 1 interception coming in, has 2 tonight. That is big. It just may be one of those nights where Mount Vernon just wasn't their night. And now Pendleton will keep it on the ground. That's going to be Keaton Jones. They're going to force Mount Vernon to use that last time out. The other question is this four down territory for you?
Wow. Depending on down and distance, obviously it would be 4th down, but if they can get it close, I wouldn't mind that call.
Okay. Well, the good news is that's why we always say why we're up here and they're down there, and they get the big dollars, we don't. So it'll be 2nd down, and you know right now Isaac Wilson is looking at that play clock, just running that thing down as far as he can. They'll hand it off. Here's Jones. Big hole, 1st down and more at the 20, the 15, and down to the 10-yard line. And that's going to pretty much seal it right there.
Love that play. 2nd and 8. They're going to run him off the left side here. He's going to go out and then just make that quick cut right up the middle, and he's able to get past 3 defenders. Only one could catch him. He gets up. He's excited because he knows that was a huge play when it comes to sealing this game for Pendleton. They might need one more score, one more first down, but huge.
Did you see that block by Luke Graham, the tackle?
A great block.
Wow. Big old 74 deserves an award for that block because that was big.
Yeah, the MVP of the second half has really been the offensive line for Pendleton.
I agree.
They've just been moving Mount Vernon off the line, making huge holes, and the running backs have been taking advantage of the space they've been able to provide. It's really worked nicely this half.
Well, they're about ready to avenge last year's loss in which Mount Vernon won it 46-14.
Yeah, and that's a heck of a flip. I think I'm willing to say surprising result if Pendleton comes out of here with the win, especially in this form and fashion. To have that kind of a swing year versus year is a big result for the Arabian program if they can hold on here.
And move to 5-1 on the season, and surprisingly, Mount Vernon, here's an end around near side and down inside the 5 to about the 3. That's going to be Bo Surface. I was going to mention Surface was on that left side on that big run along with Graham. Surface blocked out, Graham blocked in.
And if you're Mount Vernon, there's one outcome, and that's a turnover. You need a turnover here. I almost wonder if they should have let him score there. Obviously, being down 2 touchdowns with a minute, you're not looking good, but that clock is just ticking down.
And they know they need that timeout if they're going to get the football back. 3rd and goal, and this is going to be your quarterback keeper. Wilson puts it in the end zone. Another 6 on the board, and another impressive drive after the turnover, and you pretty much have now sealed it.
Yeah, statement made by Pendleton. Great play to end it here. Fitting that Wilson kind of been orchestrating everything on the Pendleton offense all night. He gets to make the final read and go into the end zone, celebrate with his teammates.
There is the extra point. It is good, 24-10. Wow. What a change, and they really should be excited about the way they played in the second half.
They should be. I mean, it was in question for a while, and I think you could go back to the first drive Mount Vernon had. You start with Pendleton, they go 3 and out coming out in the half. Then Mount Vernon has a little bit of momentum, again stymied by a penalty. Then all of a sudden you start to think, okay, well maybe Pendleton is actually right where they need to be. They get the ball back, going a long drive, tie the game. You're still thinking, okay, it still feels like a Mount Vernon game, but Pendleton's just stayed the course. Really brought the intensity and more focus in the second half. We knew that would be the key. Pendleton's just reduced the mistakes, and they've stuck to the bread and butter, the run game, and that's why they're going to leave here with a victory.
And on the other side, well, by the way, don't forget tomorrow we have Olivet and Rose-Hulman volleyball action, if I'm not mistaken. Tournament going on over at Rose-Hulman in Terre Haute, then Baldwin-Wallace and Rose-Hulman tomorrow as well. They played 2 tonight and then played 2 tomorrow. And we do have some soccer as well, Ohio Northern and Rose-Hulman. So we got a crew over there tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah, a lot of good action tomorrow. Rose-Hulman involved in a lot of good sporting events. That'll be fun to see. Definitely tune in if you want to see some good action, volleyball and soccer.
Rose-Hulman, a very, very good athletic program, and I understand they're kind of smart too. They had a whole engineering thing, Probably does them pretty well, doesn't it?
I think so.
All right, so this will be squibbed along the ground. Final 30-plus seconds to go on this one. Nice hit on special teams, and Mount Vernon will have the football, but it's all academic at this point. Well, we've seen, again, from just an overall standpoint, a lot of surprises around the the state, especially in central Indiana. Just some of the scores just for some reason didn't make sense. By the way, New Pal did beat Greenfield Central 21-14.
Wow, great game, I'm sure. Coming down to the wire there. They were tied late.
By the way, don't forget, if you don't want to stay up late tonight for any of the scores, because sometimes those things won't come in until after midnight, we'll have them on the sports page tomorrow. Hurdle to throw, and he's going to go down. Pretty much let the clock run out here, it'd be my guess.
We've got another flag.
Uh-oh. Now don't mar the game with the tempers flaring a little bit right here in your last few seconds. There's one thing you don't want to do is not play next week.
Yeah, that's right. At this point, there's going to be some tempers. There's going to be some disappointed players on the Mount Vernon side. And then on the flip side, you're going to have some ecstatic players on the Pendleton end. They just get out of here without anything major here.
You know, plus, for Zach and myself, it is past our bedtime, so we need to get moving here.
That's right.
When you get to our age, you need to be in bed at a certain time.
That's right.
See who they're going to, might get them both here. So the offsetting penalty in football, I've never been a big fan of. You know what I mean? I know you can't do much there. Move it up, move it back, whatever. But now I think they're just going to end it right here, aren't they?
I think they're content just to take a knee and let's shake hands and get on with it.
Yeah. But I've never been a big fan of the offsetting penalty. That'd be like in basketball. I know sometimes you have fouls that happen at the same time, but you got to go someplace with it, right?
Right.
They are not going to let him just run out the final 18 seconds.
That's right. Something here going on. I don't know if someone called a timeout or...
Well, I think they're going to make sure it's an official game. You don't want to say, well, let's just run it out, because then somebody will complain about it. You know, so. But I think you'll see Mount Vernon just kneel on the football knowing it's over at this stage and just end it. So there you have it. So Pendleton, the big win tonight, big second half overall, and I would say very impressive the way they ran the football.
Oh, absolutely. That was the key of the second half. They started getting that run game going, big chunk plays over and over again, 6-7 yards here and there, and it was too much for Mount Vernon in the end.
So again, Pendleton moves to 4-1, or I should say 5-1 on the season, and for Mount Vernon, they will fall to 2-4. Don't forget, as you saw our schedule moments ago, we have volleyball and soccer action out of the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference coming up tomorrow. For Zach Irvin, I'm Troy Darengowski. Thanks to the entire crew, and thank you for joining us for high school football here on IndianaSRN.